Hey, we are here. It worked. I forgot to check if your stuff worked. Say something, Brian.
Hey,
All right, we're good to go. Anywho, this is the ADLR Podcast. And this week everyone's here. I know there's a missing chair. There's a missing person in that chair down there. Unless Chairs, who's going to be our guest today. But it's weird. It's Brian. He just went to go do some things. He'll be back. We got Randall here, of course, just flexing on him all day, every day. Yeah, because since you don't move over closer to me because of the camera, what's in the center of the screen is your muscles, your bicep.
They can see me.
Yeah, you're off to the right, like we're watching a Mr. Robot show episode, but you haven't seen the cinematography in Mr. Robot. Remember how they shoot it stylistically? They'll be like in the lower left corner or top right.
is that Reese's?
They do that to make the character feel small.
Yeah.
Is that Reese's?
Can you hear Brian, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Reese's?
Yeah.
Okay. He sounds quiet though.
Because he's far away from the mic. Is that the stuff that you bought? The new stuff? The Unreal one?
This?
Yeah.
No.
That's okay, the Nature Bakery. I'll tell you, that's really good.
Wait, what?
There's a brownie that's called that's made by Nature's Bakery. Shout out Nature's Bakery if you want to sponsor the show. Tastes really good. It's a chocolate one, and it's one of those dangerous good ones where you're like, I'll have another, and then you end up looking like the merchant in Resident Evil Village.
They're only 200 calories for two.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying it's one of those where it's like, oh, it's only 200 calories. I can have another bag. Oh, I can have another bag. I can have another bag, and then you'll end up Kirby the Forgotten Lands. Go for it.
If a brownie doesn't have chocolate in it, is it still a brownie? Like if you used some kind of strawberry paste or whatever, but made it the way you'd make a brownie, would you still consider it a brownie?
I don't know. I'm not a baker. I don't know what.
You should Google it.
Yeah, that sounds like a shower thought.
Brandon's trying to get the feds on me.
By Googling if it's a brownie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be funny though if they like bomb rush the house, kick in the door, and like have like
what the fuck are you looking at?
Have him pinned down and be like, why are you asking questions about brownies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sir, I need you
to know you know already.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll tell you when a brownie is a brownie and when a strawberry.
You know what the next question is, right?
Which is what?
Who do you work for?
Yeah. Who do you work for? Who needs to know this? Is it those fucking Keebler elves? They have everything.
Secure the wrench.
Yeah. It's like an all-out battle for them to secure the wrench. It's the fucking gauntlet in this story, in this timeline. Anywho.
Small sentence for you, Anthony. I don't know if you saw, but the next character for Apex is a Titanfall character.
Yeah, I saw. It's the one from the factory level, I think it is, where you're time hopping between. That level is lit. I think it's a time hopping level.
Is it from Titanfall 2?
Yeah.
I didn't play the story.
Well, I recommend you do. Do I have it on Steam? Did I cave and buy it on Steam too? I don't think so.
Who you are.
But yeah, definitely get that.
Shoot. Is she gonna have 2 revolver hands?
No, she was a pilot. I think I think it's a doctor that was turned into some sort of like a simulation pilot or something. Yeah, like something like that. I forgot. I'm very hazy on that. I just remember.
On the base.
Yeah. Ooh. Anywho, I don't even know where to start. I guess we can start with like me catching up with the old games here. Like, I have Cyberpunk on here. I want to just go ahead and get into it. Right. I finished that.
When did you play that?
That's why I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this. I finished it like 2 weeks ago.
What was that?
In your room.
Doing what?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I finished it downstairs.
Oh.
Like right there, like in the living room. But I'm pretty sure you were upstairs. But I ended up running credits on that. Narratively, I was very disconnected. So we'll start off with that. It starts off with you selecting your character on basically what type of. Maybe similar to Mass Effect 1, where there's some backstory selection through a menu, and it's supposed to be heavily influencing the rest of the story, but I didn't feel like it was. through the main quest, maybe some side quests that would be a thing, but besides getting extra like voice lines, I didn't see any need for picking what my backstory was. So sometimes I'll get like a speech selection that's like, oh, nomad, and he'll say something clever or something that might bring the characters closer. Like I think her name is Panam.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a nomad, so that I had a lot of options where I can pick nomad.
That the tattoo girl?
No.
That's the girl that looks like she could be Hispanic and Zazie Beetz at the same time.
Yeah. She's like a mechanic. I don't know if she's a mechanic, but she's
a red jacket.
Yeah, red jacket, and she's also part of like a crew that's a nomad as well, or some sort of like an outsider crew. Basically, from what the character was, your main character. Yeah. So narratively, it was okay. I did enjoy that there was some like big character deaths and stuff that you could have avoided and so forth. I kind of cheated because John Giannano's brother told me about Takamura's spoilers potential death, so I made sure that didn't happen and saved Takamura for the end. And that was another character that I ended up saving that helped me in the end, like helped me take down that big suicide mission or whatever at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. But the dialogue itself between people, I thought was cool. The acting was fine. Takamura's character was dope. Our boy from the beginning, Jackie, was fantastic. The chick who he was dating was cool. Everyone you spoke to, Victor, I think it was Vic, the Ripper, the first one you meet, was dope. I thought the way they made it sound, they talk about the city as like, oh, all the Rippers you can meet and stuff. I thought I was gonna meet so many different types of doctors and like things like those, all the personalities and stuff. But it was just Vic and like some other one for the story, but that didn't really flesh out. It was like, oh, I'm also a Ripper or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, I could probably come to this guy to get different upgrades, but it didn't. I didn't need to, right? So like, once I had like all of my slots filled out, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get. Once I had enough cyber deck upgrades where I'm like, this is gonna be my long range attack, which is like hack them, like stun them or blind them or something. I can when I enter a new fight, it's like, oh, the big guy over there who has like a massive rocket launcher or like a huge shotgun that's doing damage. I can just quickly slow down time with the thing, hack him by just pressing a button and going, he'll blind him for X amount of times. And that time I can clear the rest of the rooms with like 2 or 3 headshots each person, and then just literally unload magazines into this guy until he dies. Or like the combat got, once you get to a point, it becomes broken. Well, not, which I guess that's why they have difficulty levels, but
this is after the supposed updates.
Yeah, the updates is just stability. It's been mostly stability changes. They didn't add any like content to the game. It's been the same thing so far.
You play on easy?
Yeah.
I played on normal, and literally after a certain amount of points, and my silenced revolver, no one had anything to say about it because they died immediately.
Yeah,
I did non-lethal.
Mine wasn't silenced. Mine was just a lot of gunpowder. Like I had assault rifles up and my pistol one. And my hand, like pistols and like assault rifles were up, and I think the assault rifles like also count like shotguns and like the other thing. So I had put a bunch of points into that, and I put a bunch of points into the tech to like, oh, open a door.
Oh.
So then I don't have to worry about like looking for a key or something. Like, oh no, I'm in. I have access. And then later in the game when I'm like, I don't even know what to spend my money on, I spent it on strength. So then there's doors that's like, oh, it's locked. I can just grab and rip it open, and I'm like, I have access. And I just walked in. So the scaling of it in terms of like getting better and better, I guess I also did some side missions, so that might be why by the time I got to like halfway through the story, I was already like a walking cheat code. Like it felt like I just enabled God mode, and I was just walking around like, oh, let me go kill this guy, bam, 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 moving on. Which is again that happens in a bunch of games. Like if I'm playing Far Cry 6 now, and I've already done so many side missions that I already have my loadout that I want. That's just comes with the territory with open world games. That being said, go for it.
There's only one enemy that was purposely a fucking bullet sponge, and that's one of the main near the end of the game.
Yeah, and that was quite the boss fight. I got that. That was the end of the boss at the end. The super cyber dude. That was right. What's it?
Yeah,
What is it
I forgot
called?
what's his name.
No, just what
You're
type
talking
of?
about Cyberpunk?
Yeah, because I finished. I ran credits recently.
Is that the
I
dude
think
that?
it's Super Psycho, right? No.
Yeah, like it's a psycho something.
Is that the dude that walks past you in the beginning when you go into the club?
Yeah, the big dude
And he looks at you. Yeah.
that he's just full. It's like me if I wanted to be like legitimately a machine in the future, where he's mostly machine.
You don't need to be a machine. You're in control.
I am the director at the Federal Bureau of Control. Does anybody here like Alan Wake?
Alan Wake.
I don't know that I ever played those games. I think that was one of the series that I was like, that I heard okay things about it. Like some people were like diehard fans, and other people were like, it was cool, but you're not missing anything if you don't play.
Yeah, I played it a long time ago before I even moved out of my mom's place, and I don't see the appeal. Like when they announced the remaster and stuff, and I'm like, who wanted this? Like but I guess it's like a cult classic or something. I don't know why because you said Control. It's made by the same people. But anyway, back to
That's
Cyberpunk.
probably why they remade it. Maybe some people are like, oh, Alan Wake tied to this, and then like, oh, here if you want to visit that.
Because one of the expansions is so I guess that makes sense. Anyway, so Cyberpunk, yeah. To their credit, the world feels like a Cyberpunk world when you're not seeing like weird glitches and stuff. The problem is that there's not enough of it. Like you run into the same NPCs in the open world too often. I don't know if that makes sense. Like you'll have, dude that has a blue shirt, gold glasses or whatever, and you're like, haha, I walk 2 blocks, there's that same guy. And it's like
it's very similar from what I've seen to that Rick and Morty episode where Rick's on the he gets kidnapped by the space Nigerians or whatever, and they put the processing power for Jerry down to 5%, and then it just has the same like the woman, the mailman, and then some other old guy like standing there like, my man, and that's it.
And that's it. It doesn't update as often because it's like, we need to save the cycles for whatever the other simulation's doing. And I get it. I don't know if it's like, we got to make it. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna try to zoom or guess what it was, but go ahead.
I know that they like a lot of their videos. Like if you go back and watch their videos, they have a lot more generated people and things running around. And then now it's like, from what I've seen, there's not nearly as many people in the world while you're walking around. Has that changed?
For me, there is a lot of people. The problem is it's the same people. Like, or if not, they're not drastically different. Especially if you go to like an area,
do like a blue shirt and a red shirt guy.
Yeah, but you'll see
even if it's
like
the same model, it's like change the shirt up.
Yeah, there's some times where they'll be inside in the same frame. Like if you go to a really busy area like a market or something, there's a bunch of NPCs, and there's times where I'm like in the same frame I see the same guy, and I'm like, well, it happens that you can only do so much, right? I don't know if that was, I don't know. So stuff like that, I'm like, that kind of takes me out. But it is one of those games where I didn't fast travel that much because I like just driving around. The driving did improve after a while. When I first played the game, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, like you tap it and your car's like, you want a 360 off a fucking Tony Hawk kickflip? And I'm like, fam, I just tapped left.
I basically exclusively used the motorcycle and I didn't have any issues. I don't know.
Right. Okay. But for me, the motorcycle was fine, I think so. But the cars, they felt like too, I don't want to say too responsive. That sounds like that doesn't make any sense. It's like there was no weight to them, right? So they would just like arcadey, just slide to the left and right. And now by the end of it, after a bunch of the updates and stuff, I'm like, okay, these feel more grounded. And I enjoyed driving around. They had cool radio stations and stuff that sounded like it was cyberpunk levels of like futuristic music. The traffic AI was just regular traffic AI. They just go, they spawn them down the block somewhere. They'll take a left or some shit and keep going until they despawn.
So the GTA style.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, okay, they got that check mark. We have traffic, right? I an annoyance was the amount of times the phone went off because you entered a new area and it's like, hey man, new job for you, come here. Like it was like almost Nico levels when he was getting phone calls. Except this one you can just have it play. You don't have to answer it. It's just I'm just like cruising going to an objective or like a quest or to do a quest, and it's like introducing these people through a phone, and I'm like, you think you'd have like a cutscene or something?
Who'd you choose, the girl or his cousin?
On GTA.
Yeah. You said
Oh,
Nico,
that's
so it made
true.
me-
Okay,
made me-
GTA 4. I'm like, I'm thinking Cyberpunk. I'm like his cousin.
See, you mentioned Nico.
I did
so-
both. The first, I don't remember which one I picked first, but I played through GTA 4 twice,
Okay.
probably more, I think. And I tried both because I wanted to see what would happen. Because that's one of the games you can't do both. Or in 5 you can save everyone. So
I didn't. I read that option as something else would happen, so I killed Trevor.
damn, bro.
Vice City is clearly the best.
I'm
Yeah,
actually.
I mean,
Go ahead.
With fucking Lance Vance. I think that was his name. That's my guy.
Yeah, Lance fans. I'm actually excited for the remasters because if they do come out, I might give that a shot and just replay it again for old time's sake. Because I did like Vice City. What were we talking about? Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I mean, gunplay felt really cool, but again, it got to a point where you get too strong where it's. I try to avoid it because I'm like, I'm just wasting ammo. Or I tried doing a melee build, but then it just didn't feel as satisfying. The boxing quests were really satisfying because it's literally you and the other guy with just hands up. When you're doing a
You
melee
tried
build,
those?
I thought, yeah, when I first played through it, it was like, why does this feel sluggish? And then I tried it again, and I'm like, oh, it feels better now. And it just feels fine. I thought those were fun because you're just throwing dukes. And yeah, the same thing I mentioned before. I think the last time we talked about Cyberpunk, I don't like the way what they did with Jackie in any way. Like that speed run, I thought was like that could have been a good act of the game, and they just sped run that part, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, I feel like the game was like as much as I was excited for this game, I feel like it was a failed game from the start just because of one, how long it was in development, two, how many different consoles it was like going through. Because like they originally, I think
It was
were, like,
originally
originally-
PS4 or
yeah, you know,
PS4 and
when the
3
PS4 first came out and the PS3 was just fading out. And then, then they were like, well, we have to do it for the PS5. And then they come out and announce this whole like outside world where you get to go and explore. And it's like,
technical
and then it didn't even run on the
limitations.
PS4 because they like forgot about it.
Well, they prioritized next gen consoles and PC, and even then, one release it was like not running great. So
I
they've
can't
been.
say it was a failed game. It's just rocky launch. And the game was still solid. If your PC could run that unoptimized shit.
Yeah, and that's where I'm gonna end up with this. Is just it's solid. It wasn't the mega open world cyberpunk dreamland we thought it was gonna be, and that's where I land on it. Now, do I recommend it? I don't think I can.
It's funny that you're doing a review for this because I actually thought about playing it this weekend.
Yeah,
The weekend coming up.
yeah. I mean, again, the narrative is okay. Keanu Reeves' performance was fine. It's just, yeah, everything was just fine. It's nothing there's abysmal. I mean, obviously at launch there was abysmal like bugs and stuff, but it looks like most of that stuff has been hashed out for the most part. It's a great benchmark for your computer, I can tell you that.
What about the story?
Stories, I was really detached. I really didn't.
So there's really no reason for me to play this other than eye candy.
Eye candy, yeah. And if you like shooting
It's
things,
good,
but
it's
if you like
fine.
shooting stuff, there's a new game called Far Cry 6 that's out that will definitely satisfy you shooting things.
What's the name of the game? Hold on. There's a game that you'd probably like more gameplay wise. It's one that Javi played, and it's like Mirror's Edge, but cyberpunk aesthetic.
It's Ghost Runner is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I would say just play that.
Yeah,
man.
you might like that more.
I can send it to you if you want.
I
It's
think
just
we
one of
talked.
those games that you should like, if you're a fan of, especially of the Witcher series, to just play through it once, kind of try and enjoy it, and then
Two separate things.
Yeah,
do separate things. All right.
if you just want to support CD Projekt Red, then sure. But I guess there you go. Let me backtrack. I can recommend this at a sale. If you see this thing like at 50% off at $30, maybe $20, then yeah, get it. I think it's definitely worth at least $20 to $30. But full price, do not pay full price.
At least
for
you
this.
didn't fall asleep.
Yes. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is right now the most boring. I have fell asleep trying to play it on stream.
What game is this?
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. When I'm telling you gameplay is king, this is a clear reason why gameplay is king. Because if you make me fall asleep, your game is not entertaining in any way. Anyway, but no offense to the team, they're making a second one for Xbox. I think it's an exclusive. God bless you guys. I have no interest in trying that sequel.
It's game of the year, dude.
Because that gameplay loop was, oh my god.
What if they send it to you for free to review?
And I'll review it, but the contract is I can say what I want about it. Because if I hate it, I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna hate it. And there's no money is gonna buy me. The hell. Send me a free copy, no problem. I'll give you a free review. You know what I'm saying?
You always can tell when a review is not going to be good is when it fades in. There's no intro to the video. It just fades from black to like the person like. So I played so-and-so game.
Yeah, because you want to get it over with. Like, no one wants to spew like negativity. And again, God bless the developers who make Hellblade the first one. That is not a fun game to me. Anyway, that gameplay loop was like, oh. And again, same with Alan Wake. I gave Alan Wake the good old college try. I did not finish that game because of that combat was not satisfying.
Combat.
Just literally, hey, flashlight to every fucking person until you're able to do damage. Boring. Frustrating.
Maybelline.
Yeah, Maybelline. And then they made Control. That's how you make fucking combat. Anywho, now that I've vented. So yeah, recommendation, not a full price. If you can get Cyberpunk like on a deal, $20, $30, maybe even cheaper by the end of this year because there's a sale coming. I mean, Thanksgiving's around the corner. So,
speaking of holidays, like I mentioned earlier that I went to Home Depot.
yeah.
They got Christmas stuff up already.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is at the door.
And that's a little earlier than usual. Usually they wait till Halloween's done. So like November 1st will come up and then Christmas stuff is already up.
He's at the door. I mean, not a real person. It's like a animatronic, like life-size statue that moves and stuff.
For sale, or is it just for the store?
It's for the store, but there's Christmas trees fully lit inside the store.
Jeez, people are starting. I'm telling you, dude. The earlier they can start selling you shit for holidays, the better for them. So, I'm waiting for next year. Like as soon as July starts, all right, guys, let's start prepping for Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, we can move on now from Cyberpunk. We'll move on to something a little bit happier because Randall had enough of our fucking gushing of Ted Lasso, so he sat down and watched both seasons. So Randall, let us know how wrong we are
About what?
about Ted Lasso. It's a trash show.
How wrong you are?
To let us know.
I don't follow. You said you liked it, right?
Yeah.
Then you weren't wrong.
That's the point of that setup, Randall. Is to continue to let everyone know that if you haven't watched Ted Lasso, go watch Ted Lasso. But go ahead, Randall.
What?
Review it, man. What do you thought?
Oh.
Watch. Come on, wake up.
I didn't know if you was like making another point.
I don't make
Yeah,
points.
I thought it was good, man. Obviously, I thought it was good because I binged it. My favorite character is Coach Beard.
Hold on. Let's back it up here, okay? Why?
He's like one of those characters that don't lose, except for that one episode. But even still, he kind of like
He didn't lose at the end of the episode.
yeah. So I mean, he got he got beat up a little bit, but like other than that, and set up. I knew from the gate. I was like, red dress in the club, keeps looking at you, and then she disappears every time you look away. Nah, But anyway, yeah, he's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like he's really quick with the responses. They're clever. He says he shows some sort of intelligence with his responses. And they're funny. And I just like the fact that he I guess because I can relate to him because he's like the character that I would be if I was in Ted Lasso. The guy doesn't really say anything, but once in a while he says something.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I like him the most. Of course I like I already mentioned this, but I like Rebecca.
Who doesn't?
I like Roy for obvious reasons.
Fucking hell.
Well, let's make this easier. Who don't you like?
Yeah,
What cast person? Because there's
What
like
is it? I can't remember his name.
because your brain
Old?
already. Yeah, is he old or
No.
young or
He's the most obvious person you should hate.
Nate?
No, not
Rupert.
Nate. I mean, yeah, Nate is somebody that you should dislike after the way he acted. No,
Rupert's.
I mean, yeah,
Rupert's the one I
Rupert.
can think
Yeah,
of.
he's that's a given, but he's not really in the
Who else?
season
I
that
don't-
much.
Randall,
I don't know who the hell else
He's
you're talking
gonna
about.
say-
That
He's gonna say Jamie.
Jamie Tart. I mean,
Yes.
you don't like after.
Oh
both
my
seasons?
god, I can't stand that dude.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Is it because his face?
It started out with his attitude, and then his face became equally disgusting because of his attitude.
Would you say he's an ugly
Yeah,
boy?
ugly boy. Yeah, I can't stand him, man. I hated him for a long time. I kind of
feel
eased
like
up.
he-
I
Go
kind of
ahead.
eased.
I'll
I
let
kind
you
of.
finish.
I kind of eased up on him a little bit towards the latter part of the season 2, because he had a different. I guess he was maturing. I put it like that.
Yeah, he had his arc. He hasn't
But-
matured.
He went back down in the ranks for me when he tried to holler at Keely
Oh, Kelly.
at the funeral. I'm like, come on, man. You know she got a man. Like,
I
what
mean-
are you doing?
But he loves her.
But you don't do that, bro.
He doesn't care because he's
Because he's a douchebag.
Okay.
Well, he apologized for it.
And he also, I mean, he stood up and apologized face to face.
He told him and apologized.
Yeah.
And he called his papa.
Yeah.
That was like one of the greatest. That and then Roy following up.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest scene ever. You know.
So much was established in such a small amount of time there.
What else?
I think it's not so much. A few things. What else?
All the characters are very interesting.
Yeah, they sure are.
The like, just the stuff that happened in the episodes that were like, what makes Ted Lasso so good is that they have a lot of elements that are like small, but they make such a huge impact. You know what I mean? Like something small would be like the example I gave you with the psychiatrist when they were on the field and she was in the bleachers.
Oh yeah.
And he turned around and he was like, I could swear she's getting closer.
Yeah.
And then they would cut. And you would think that you thought that it was all in his head until they cut back. And she's like literally like 4 bleachers down closer. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? That joke was funny. Rupert, that's what's Rebecca's ex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could not understand why he was so like a lot of the times when he was on screen, I was like, why is he so mean to her? And I thought maybe they were going to reveal that she did some grimy stuff like later on in life earlier on in life or whatever.
Right.
But it just turns out he's just evil.
He's just a dick.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be in control and in power the whole time. Like
Yeah, but
he just berated her for years, with shit, and made her miss out on things in life that she really wanted to do, like having a kid, because he's an asshole.
Yeah, but he's free of darts, though. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Be curious, not judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Randall. If you were to assign a Ted Lasso character to everyone in this podcast, who would be who? And why?
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows I'm Leslie, right?
Obviously, I'm Ted Lasso. Can we all agree on that? Because out of everybody in here, I'm the most kumbaya type of dude.
No, that's only one aspect of Ted. I would say you're more Leslie because he's he's probably the most positive.
Who's Leslie?
The one that helps
Higgins.
Higgins, yeah.
The one that helps Rebecca.
Oh, heck no. He has no spine.
Yeah, he does. What do you mean?
He
Not
stood
really.
up to Beard.
Huh?
He did. Yeah.
He manned up and told Beard how he felt about his girlfriend.
He also stood up to Rebecca when she was berating him around.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but it's one part about him that I didn't like is that the whole fact that he helped Rupert cheat on Rebecca for so long. And I'm like, I could never do no jump like that.
Oh, that's fair.
That's fair.
All right.
I
Well,
mean, we don't know the full situation. Like, I'm not excusing what he did, but we don't know the full situation. You know, Rupert might have had blackmail. Rupert might have done something or promised him things, or not really revealed exactly what was going on. He may have been doing it without his knowledge until later.
yeah. There's a big question mark there, but I get it. All right. So if you're Ted Lasso, then who's the rest?
Okay.
And why is Brian the Irish lady?
The Irish lady?
Yeah.
The
why
one
is
that
he
owned the
with
bar?
Irish lady?
And why is he with the Irish lady?
No, the teacher.
The teacher.
Oh, so he likes her too?
Randall, what I tell you, it's objectively yes to everyone.
They didn't show her enough for me to feel anything.
You don't
about
need
her.
to.
Other than the fact I felt like she seems to be like a better match for Roy than Keeley. But I don't know. Let me think.
Oh, I mean, it should be pretty obvious, Randall. I'm Danny Rojas. Like, football is life.
It could be Dev.
It could be death too. Yeah. And that was another very great choice for the ending of the finale when they brought him around. Oh, so good. Remember they opened with him hitting the
I'm still stuck
mascot?
on if you're Danny Rojas.
Oh, I have no idea who I am, Randall. Like I could literally be. Yeah, I'm just saying people.
Time.
Yeah, because I can't just have you sitting there with empty empty sound.
I feel like I need to come back to this, man. I don't know.
Okay, then think about
Really, Colin, because he doesn't know what's going on most of the
We
time.
can give you time.
Oh.
We can give you 3 seconds.
I'm good with that. Colin's cool. I'm a strong. What is it? I'm a strong and dominant man. Or what is it?
I don't.
Yeah,
remember
that's
his
what it was.
catchphrase.
Something. That's my mantra. And he's in the
Yeah.
Lamborghini because he can't drive stick. That's all me. I can't drive stick, so that would be me pulling out of the Lambo, almost killing somebody.
Yeah, but I don't think you would let Nate of all people insult you like that.
No, that would no. I'd have more than just words for him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we're walking outside and we're handling this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I might
We
have
can
to
give you
take.
time. Like we can give you 5 seconds.
Yeah, we got 5, 4.
We'll just come back to it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
When we close out, we'll
We'll definitely do it.
Okay, so to prevent confusion like last time, Randall, keep thinking about this throughout the podcast while we're doing the podcast. So at the end, you don't come back and go, I need to think about it. I wasn't thinking about it during the podcast.
Yeah, you've done that before, by the way, on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Captured in not 4K, but
8K.
Oh, I didn't know this was actually going out in 8K. All right. So I guess for speculations, did you agree with? I don't remember what we said for speculation. What do you think is happening?
I feel like you're more like Roy.
No, I don't curse that much.
What? The only thing about Roy, you and Roy don't have in common is that he loves.
He's got a
kids.
huge. Oh, what?
I'm sorry.
What? No, what were you saying?
I was gonna say that he loves kids.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But everything else, like the whole mean
Whoa,
profanity.
not mean. Profanity, I'll give you that.
Danny Rojas
Not so
can't be
much
you
mean
because he's
as
just one
honesty.
note.
That's true. I see it as honestly, not mean. But Danny Rojas, what?
I said I can't say you're Danny Rojas because he's like one note.
Yeah, me being a cyborg. Cyborg is life, right? Anywho, but I mean, we got to keep it moving.
Yeah,
We can't just wait here.
yeah.
Speculation: you think Roy and Keely splitting up in the third season? I mean, after that last scene with them, it's kind of one of those, or maybe it's kind of one of what they've been doing with the banter thing when it was like an easy foreshadow that they might throw a twist in.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think that he's going to go on vacation for 6 weeks, which is a long time to be away.
Yeah.
Keely is going to be so engulfed in her new business and running it that I think that she's going to be too busy for him. And that's going to cause him to slowly fall into the arms or get the attention of the teacher.
Yeah.
Because she's so busy running her business, and she's not going to be doing it on purpose, but she's so like passionate about this.
Yeah, it just
and she
happened.
is running the business. She's not going to have as much time to offer him.
Yeah.
And you can see that. I'm not going to say that he's needy, but you can tell that he looks forward to like spending time with her.
Yeah.
So that's going to cause an issue. It's kind of like going to push him away, or not necessarily push him away, but it's like when she's busy doing her thing, he's going to be like, what am I going to do? And because that's his niece, right?
Yeah.
And because he has such a great relationship with his niece, then that's going to introduce more time with the teacher. And then the teacher's going to be like, what's going on? Blah,
Hey,
blah,
man.
blah, how you doing?
Yeah, and then it's over.
my girlfriend, she's running a new business. So, he might not even mention her. He just might like hint that he has an issue, like he's going through something.
He didn't tell her he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't say that he was married or anything. So he might not even mention that he's having girl issues, but he just might hint that like he's going through something, and then she's going to be there for him. And then,
but that's what I was saying earlier. That's too easy to foreshadow,
what?
And they did that with Ted and Rebecca this season.
You think so?
Remember what we thought? I mean, they made it look, they shot it, they cut to Ted every time they were talking on banter, and we were like, it's too easy. And of course, it was too easy. They had their own twist to it. So I think there might be, that's too easy. Because, I mean, we all think, that's a possibility.
All I'm saying is, Keely better not get back with Jamie.
That might be a possibility.
Jamie.
But Jamie.
I hope not, man.
He's changed.
He is maturing.
I'm not saying he's not, but he needs to find somebody else.
Have you not seen his choreography? He's going off.
Yeah, he knocked out that NSYNC choreography, Randall. I gotta let you know. Just letting you know. Some guy took his shirt off. That's how hype he was.
How did you feel about the scene where the dude from Nigeria, where's he from, Ghana or whatever?
Oh, when he flipped out?
Turned out, yeah.
That shit was so funny.
I saw it coming. I didn't know like how it was going to take place like exactly, but I saw that coming because he was just like every time he would talk to him, he was just so sure that he was going to go play for him.
Yeah, he
would always word everything he said like, so it's going to be great when you come play for us, or
yeah,
I know it's going to be hard leaving this team or whatever. I'm like, this dude is so like presumptuous.
Like he thought he won already. Yeah,
yeah. So I kind of figured that when he
gets rejected, he was
down,
going to be.
Yeah.
I will buy your childhood home, shit in every room, and then burn it to the ground.
My favorite was the mannequin, where he's like choking out the mannequin and then he teabags it and shits on it a couple of times.
That's what made me laugh because, like you said, I expected him to like maybe threaten him in some way or something, but not in that cartoony way.
How do y'all feel about his relationship with Rebecca?
Again, the easy answer is they might come back to it, and the shows have proven time to.
You don't feel like he's too young?
Oh, like what do I personally think? I don't. Whatever floats his boat. Yeah, like whatever.
We say float his boat.
No, did I say float his boat? I said float it. I wanted to say float his boat.
I feel like maybe float his boat too, because like.
Then float his boat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats his boat. Like I'm not. I don't know if they're both okay with it. I'm okay with it, right? Like it really has nothing to do with me.
I like both of them, so I don't care.
Yeah,
badass bitch.
Yeah, and no, it's boss ass bitch.
Boss ass bitch.
Oh yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, I cannot think of what's her Ashley Johnson. It looks like that's her
an accent?
daughter with an accent. Yeah. Holy shit.
Variant.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see more of Sassy.
Yeah,
Same.
I love
Same.
her.
Do y'all feel like she would be a good match for Ted? Really?
I like it.
I don't
I
know
like
yet because she's never comforted him during his like attacks. What Rebecca has, Sharon has, we don't know what she would do or how she would comfort him, if at all. Right?
There's confirmation that there's a season 3 coming.
Yes. They already
Yeah, it's
ordered
the
it.
last season.
It is?
According to Bill Lawrence, he said he sees it ending at 30 seasons.
Oh, snap.
Which I mean, I'm okay with it. In and out, quality episodes, I'm cool.
They alluded to it. I think it's gonna work out fine because after the funeral, Rebecca's mom was like, she has a thing for
Broken birds.
Yeah.
For wounded birds. That's Rick
Yeah.
Astley. It's like, yeah,
Thought he was
yes.
black.
You thought he was black. That was funny. You have a favorite moment of the show so far?
A favorite moment? Not any that I can think of off the top of my head that's like way above all the other ones, but there were a lot of great moments, I think.
You tear up at all?
I didn't tear up, but I got really emotional. I guess emotional is the right word when whenever Rupert, like that one episode or part when Rupert was in the office and he was like throwing jabs about her not having a baby and she was like fighting everything not to cry. Like that jump. If I could have reached through the screen, man, he'd have been a dead body.
Yeah. Allegedly.
God. Yo. But nothing that I can think of that actually made me like tear up. Not that I can think of.
Okay.
The panic attacks were kind of messed up because it's like he's in a situation where he can't control what he's going through. He's like rendered like helpless.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially that when he like leaves the game.
Yeah. He looked
Fuck
like
Nate.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I consider myself to be a really good person, right? But even Ted Lasso made me realize that maybe I need to like fine tune some things because this dude outed him out to the news, which means everyone knows.
Yep.
And he didn't even address him about it. Like, he wasn't going to say anything. He was like, when he was talking to Coach Beer, he was like, I'm going to let him come to me.
Yeah.
You know? And he was still nice to him even through in practice.
Yep.
As if he didn't do anything or as if he didn't know what he did.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, bro. That's next level.
Well, I mean, like,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. To answer Brian's answer. There was
to
a
answer
part,
his answer?
I mean his question.
Okay.
There was a part where I almost teared up. And that's when Ted was in the rain talking to his wife and she was like, and they were basically breaking up. Like confirming that they were going to get a divorce.
Yeah.
And he was like having a conversation with her about like, you know, I never give up on anything, but this isn't me giving up. This is me letting you go. And he was like, if there's anything I could do in my power to keep you here, I would. Yo, I felt that, man. Like that's gotta suck so bad. And then they like they're having a conversation, and then like the way it's shot is like they're in the background, but their son is in the foreground.
Yeah.
It sucks because it's like they have a family, they have a child together, they've been married for X amount of years, and it's like no one's cheated, no one's done anything grimy, but she doesn't feel the same way anymore. And he has no control. There's nothing he can do about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually it's like if someone cheated, it's like at that point is a matter of whether or not you're going to trust that person again if they do that, if they put in the work to show that they're trustworthy again.
Right, you have to earn the trust.
But this is like question mark, like Riddler. Like, I don't know what to do. So I don't know, man. That John hurt, man. Because I would hate to be in a position like that, to be married for X amount of years, and then like my wife tells me like,
I just don't look.
Especially when she was like, what did she say? She said something like, to the extent of like, I'm going to keep trying to work through this or work this out or whatever, even though she had already admitted that she doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then it really bothered me when how like aggressive they were about getting the papers signed.
Oh yeah, same
thing. It went from her texting to like, did you sign the papers? He's like, nah, I didn't do it yet. Then to her saying that, oh, you can fax them. And then her lawyer's like, oh, by the way, great news. It's nothing great about this.
Yeah.
What do you mean great news? First of all. But great news, you don't have to fax them. You could take a screenshot and send it to me through text. Like,
through the marvels of technology, we can hurry up your sorrow.
Yeah.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah. I don't want to live on
And I was telling Anthony when I first saw that, I was like, now it's got me skeptical about his wife, because at first I just thought she was innocent in the aspect that she didn't do anything wrong. Like, there was no infidelity. It was just like, for whatever reason, she fell out of love. But now I'm like, why is she rushing this?
Uh-huh.
She got somebody in the background she trying to get to?
Maybe.
I mean, they've obviously been trying for a while, and it's not working. Like, that's the thing. Like, they tried couples counseling, and he talked, and it sounded like, you know, with the couples counseling though, that because like Ted said, this basically all the guy did was point out his flaws. Like, never really about them as a couple. You know, not trying to attack it as a couple. It's your fault. You know, and so I'm sure that didn't help. But it, you know, if she may have been feeling like she wanted out for a long time, and then agreed because they have the kid, and then, you know, has finally gotten the green light and is like, I want to just get this done because I don't want, you know, I don't want this pressure, this feeling anymore of being in this relationship. Like, I'm not saying that she, like, I understand what you're talking about with like the rushing and things, but like they didn't really give a lot of background other than the few comments. And so it may have been something that she had been thinking about talking about for a long time, and Ted, you know, asked to at least do couples counseling, and then giving her space, you know, which is why he's over in England, you know.
Yep.
And she was just ready, and even though she was trying to work at it, she just didn't feel the same way about him anymore as she felt as he felt about her.
It's just a trash situation. That's all. Like, she's probably trying to get out of it so she can move on in some way. Because she can't start dating, still married. Obviously, it's an affair. Like, she's just trying to move on. Yeah. Ted's backstory and stuff, every time it comes to light and he has a moment, it's just excellence.
Yeah,
that dad thing, man.
Yeah, his father killing himself was like a gut punch for me. I was like, what?
My favorite moment so far is that the funeral episode 10. I think episode 10 this season. The panic attack and the funeral episode. I think it's episode 10.
About, where he didn't show up until like the very end.
Yeah, Rick Astley episode. That's the best part. It was the one-on-one with Sharon and Rebecca with the mom, and they were explaining their story, and then Sharon hits him with the fucking curveball of, tell me something good about your dad, and that's when he fucking lost it. Because he told a story, and then he's like, if I would have told him how great he was, he wouldn't have done that to himself. Or if he told him enough times, that shit was like, fuck. And God bless, shout out Jaden Sudeikis, because he fucking killed that scene. That said Jason, right? Jason Sudeikis?
You sound like you did like a Tatsu in Street Fighter, so I just said Jason out loud.
Okay, so just Jason. Jason Sudeikis. He fucking murdered that scene.
Yeah, the show sucks.
Yeah, shows are horrendous, right? You don't recommend it. Yeah. So, but what's the final thing here, Randall?
What?
Are you gonna round us out here and give it a 4 out of 4 here?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a watch.
All right. And in spirit of Skippy, who's not joining us since he saw Starship Troopers, he definitely recommends it. So it's a 5 out of 5. All right. Let's keep it moving. Kelsey,
What's up?
you went and saw the Injustice animated show or movie.
Yes.
How was it? Did you like it?
It was
Have you wait before you start? Sorry. Have you played the games or read the comics?
No.
Cool. So
I
this
know
is like
a little bit about the comics,
Got it.
from talking with you guys and things I've read online and that kind of stuff.
okay.
I knew about how the whole thing started, with him killing Joker and then going over the edge, and like it shows you just like how close people really are
To turning into him.
to just breaking and then going on a rampage.
Yeah.
Like
Joker won.
yeah. There was the Joker's end game to break him, and he did.
Going into the movie now, how did it handle the begin? Like where does it take place? Right in the beginning of the story? Are we tossed in like years after he's already taken control, or
No, it starts off like slightly before, and then just moves into him taking control. And like the movie's actually quite short. It's only an hour. It's like less than 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Or it's not even an hour and a half. It's an hour and 18 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But they actually pack a ton of stuff into the hour and 18 minutes. Like it's not like they were like starting stuff and things just didn't happen. Like things move like pretty quick. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be, but it gets it gets kind of dark.
Yeah.
There's a lot of death and carnage and things like that. With people and them talking about like setting a standard and basically that he's gonna
Police
that
the
he
world.
doesn't want to be a god or a ruler. He just doesn't want there to be war and things anymore. And then when people start disagreeing with him, he just kind of employs his own judgment, and they either follow through or face the consequences.
Yep.
Real quick. So you said that it wasn't as dark as you thought it was going to be. How did you feel about the warehouse scene?
That was pretty dark. Like I understand. I can. I mean, I could sort of understand where he's coming from. With everything that happened, but like, damn, it got dark.
So the in The Boys when
They're back in town.
what is his name?
You talk about Homelander?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Homelander went to the warehouse and it was like soldiers.
You mean when he went to his own house?
His own house?
You talking about the house where the kid was at?
Cabin?
The cabin?
No. It was a warehouse with a bunch of soldiers in it. It was like at nighttime.
Yeah.
The thing that happened with his son was daytime.
Right.
But at nighttime, how he like murked everybody in there.
Okay.
That's what Superman did. Except for these were kids.
Oh, wow, yeah. So he went Anakin on everyone.
Yeah,
Basically.
he was killing innocent people. He killed a warehouse full of innocent people. All they were doing was partying. They was throwing a party. That's all they were doing. And because they were. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Keep going. No, keep going. I'll wait.
No, I mean just because they was dressed up as the Joker, like they had Joker paint on their face. That's what sent them over the edge.
Oh, I mean that's kind of a triggering memory, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of laughing at his loss.
They were necessarily innocent because, like, followers of the Joker are notorious. Like in any of the Batman stuff, are notorious for causing crime and doing things that they're not supposed to. I mean, like in Batman Beyond, even though the Joker's been, dead for years, there's all these different Joker clubs that go around and try and control the city and do all sorts of bad shit. You know, like
Look at the end of Joker, the live action movie, Randall. The idea. Joker's the idea of chaos.
Well, I don't know what these kids were doing. All I know is they were kids. They were having a party when they're in the warehouse, and he killed every last one of them.
Well, they should have been home playing Street Fighter, Randall, right? Like, they would have been fine.
If it's not 5, I co-sign that. But if it's 5, you don't do that.
Oh,
Well,
they should have
the
been
one
home.
thing I didn't really get with the movie was Wonder Woman's role. Like, she was kind of behind Superman and pushed him for a lot of stuff, but it didn't feel like that was her character. You know, like she didn't feel like she was in character. And it may just be because my view of Wonder Woman is kind of a biased version with the original like Justice League cartoon,
Mhm.
you know, with the animated series where she's very like she's not soft, but she's all about like even though she's about justice, it's about like, you know, trying to take care of people and help them and like, you know, putting bad people away but not like killing them or destroying them.
They should have shown, because the first 2 years I saw, she is behind him, but when she takes on someone and he's not there, she'll pick that route where it's like, yo, don't do this again, don't kill anyone, and she'll get him out. But if he's there, then she's like, I can't show any weakness because then I'm gonna end up getting killed.
Yeah.
So she's playing like a very, it's not double agent, I don't know what the word is.
But
She's
like
like
a fine
torn.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could understand what Kelsey's saying though, because like there was at this point Superman is killing people.
Yeah.
Even though they're like might be corrupt political leaders, but it was a conversation that was had between Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and Batman was pretty much ridiculing for what he was doing, and
Right.
Wonder Woman was defending Superman like they didn't listen, they were corrupt, so we had to deal with them in such way, which was killing them.
Yeah.
But that's
They
what
were, like,
Kelsey's talking
accepting of
about.
losses.
Yeah, she was okay
Like-
with it. It wasn't until he killed all those innocent people in the warehouse that's when she was like, I can't get down with this.
Yeah. Then it might have been after that then. 'Cause I could have sworn she's always been like,
She's like that in the comic, in the comic they're a couple.
And they sort of played that some with this, you know, in Injustice. And I don't know. The movie was awesome though. Like it was really well done, all of it. There is a lot of carnage, there is a lot of death. You know, they don't quite show as much of it as I was like hoping, you know,
Right.
like they do with like Invincible or The Boys or whatever.
yeah, they have a brand to stick to. They can't.
Yeah. You know, but it's a lot of there's like some blood splatter and there's a couple of scenes where people like get, you know, like cut in half or something or dove through. But you know, it's interesting. But it was jam packed full of stuff. Like there's just
Because there's a
ton
lot
of shit that happens, you know, in an hour and 18 minutes. Definitely go give it a watch. Like it was really incredible for what it was. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Is it structured with like, oh, first year, second year at all, or is it just a bunch of
just
stuff happening?
A continuous thing.
Damn, I wonder
You
if I
know,
watch
it
it, it's
seemed-
gonna spoil year 3 or more for me.
I doubt it. Do you ever see Constantine?
No.
Oh, okay, so
pretty
it's
good, I
early
think.
stuff. Yeah, I could probably watch it.
This is like super. I don't know that there's gonna be a second part of this. That's the thing.
So how'd they end it then? Did they wrap it up
This is what I remember when I did the review and I said Brian was going to be might be upset.
because of the ending? Oh man,
I just didn't want to say nothing. I just want him to watch it and then let him say what he's going to say.
Yeah, just the way they like. I mean, they sort of left it open ended, but the way that they ended it kind of made it feel like there's probably not going to be a second one, which doesn't really make any sense.
yeah.
You know, and so I'm wondering if they're doing this on purpose just to kind of throw, you know, a second one in there and be like, just kidding, you know, type thing.
Let's hope so, because there's a lot. I mean, again, there's so much material that's in the comics they can just pull from.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then that was what I was thinking is like, from what I know, this is like a huge series,
Yeah,
you know, inside of the universe. So there's a possibility that something is going to happen that kind of like pulls it back, or maybe they're just kind of leaving it open ended in case they do, get a good feel for it,
Right.
type thing.
Unless they're trying to just gauge how much it sells or people
Are they
watch it. Or
supposed to
something.
be doing this live action? Do you know?
No, I wish they were doing Injustice live action. But I think it's all going to be animated. The only thing I knew about was this animated one. I didn't know it was out. That's why it kind of caught me by surprise when you put it on the list. So I'm like, I didn't know it was out yet. Cool. I have to check it
More
out.
gruesome stuff. I would say read the comics. But I have a
You good?
Just the way he said that, it was like normal. Like, if you want more gruesome stuff, here's so and so.
Yeah.
Because Gussie said he thought it'd show more.
darker, yeah.
Yeah. So, no.
Oh,
Because that was one of the cool. Don't get me wrong. Growing up with Justice League, I don't want to see any of the characters die. They're all really cool. Okay, there's a couple characters I want to see die, but
okay, Brian.
There's a lot of you get attached to the characters. You mean just like X-Men? There's a ton of characters, and you're like, I don't want them to die. I don't want to think about them not existing anymore. And then you have Days of Future Past, where everybody's just getting slaughtered left and right, and then and those kind of parts of the comic. And so to see it happen, if it's gonna happen, I want it to feel like
It's a loss. It's
a
like
loss.
a devastating
I don't
loss.
I don't want them to shy away from stop kind of like look what happened in Invincible. You weren't really attached to those characters, but you sort of were, because they reminded you a lot of the Justice League.
Mhm.
And then when they just got absolutely fucking slaughtered, you're like, damn, that was awesome.
But yeah, you're like, fuck, no one's safe here.
You should definitely watch. You should definitely read the Injustice comic then, because the cartoon that you saw, it's like
two pages.
Yeah, man. It gets so crazy, man.
It gets real sad.
They need to. They need to make this that story, the Injustice story. That should be in the movies.
Well, I mean,
with care, with Marvel level care,
But Marvel doesn't do this. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
But this is what I need. Whoever made Castlevania, the show,
Yes,
Injustice show.
Yeah,
That's what
that would be perfect.
Because Marvel
doesn't.
doesn't.
You know how many seasons you get of this? You know how many years of this shit there is?
Yeah, even Marvel doesn't do it. There's no gruesome deaths. There's
I'm not
deaths,
talking about gruesome stuff. I'm talking about, when I say care, I mean everything is well thought out and planned, and it follows. Even though I know they change things in Marvel, as well, but I'm just talking about the execution, because DC doesn't necessarily have
the live action execution.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah,
There's a scene that I want to know if it's in this movie.
What scene?
Is there any scene involving Bruce Wayne, Damian, and
it happens.
Okay.
It happens.
I was like, all right, I'm just gonna gift that entire scene, and then
that whole scenario thing was weird too. I felt like there was a lot more at play, and then it was kind of a letdown.
What do you mean?
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, if you've read the comics, I'm assuming that it's part of this. So you might know what's going to happen, but it was weird. It felt like there was a big setup, and then, hey man, and that was it. It was like,
hey,
Randall, you know what I'm talking about?
If you're talking about the same thing that Brian's talking about, you're talking about the thing between Damian and
because they choose different sides. So
right, but I'm talking about after that.
But this is before that.
He just said after that.
In the cartoon is before that.
No, I'm talking about after the prison thing.
No, okay, we're talking about now. Now we're talking about three different things. What Brian is talking about, this happens before the division.
Is that true, Brian?
I'm talking about in the cartoon it does.
Okay. No, but I mean, because Brian just said, is there a scene with these guys? And you guys immediately said yes. But now it sounds like there's 4 different things with those characters.
He's talking about a situation that happened between Damian and Nightwing.
Oh, okay. And
That's what you're talking about, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
okay. So it's that they show it.
Yeah, they show it.
Okay.
And Bruce is
Not a happy father.
he doesn't react the same way he does in the comics.
Oh, really?
He's upset, but in the way Bruce acts in the comics is more. It made me feel like if I was Damian, I should just go kill myself.
Yeah.
You
But-
should, yeah.
But he doesn't. He's angry, but he says it more like a noble way, like
Like Kevin Conroy would.
Thought I
Like-
could redeem you. I was clearly wrong.
yeah, like that's what he says.
Oh no, we ain't no.
When if my memory serves me correctly, like in the comics, it was more on some like you're not my son anymore.
Yeah,
In
like
the comic, he literally disowned him.
yeah,
Exactly.
like it's more than that.
What the fuck is this movie?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tone and things that goes along with it. Like obviously the mood, the tone, everything makes a difference. So it does hit slightly different
Okay.
or more impactful in the movie. But
I mean,
you know,
I'm still gonna check it out because I like the 2 years that I read out of 9 in total. Like
Get your shit together, dude.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you, man. Considering that you have read, I wouldn't recommend this to you, bro.
why not? I'm okay with differences in story as long as it works.
It
as
doesn't.
long as
That's
it's
what
not
I'm
Avatar:
telling
The
you.
Last Airbender.
Yeah, like exactly. Like if it's not like Avatar,
It doesn't work. Is
but
what
it's
I'm
not.
telling-
It's not like Avatar though. Where
Well, I haven't
the-
really watched Avatar, so I can't make the correlation between.
But the depth, the difference is like
night and day.
baffling. It's like how did you mess up this bad?
Okay, for you to understand this, Randall, it's like the Mortal Kombat game story and then the new movie that came out.
Is it
What
that
the
bad?
heck?
Is it that bad?
That's subjective, though, man. Because it's like I'll give you an example, like the example that we were talking about, the dynamic between Bruce and Damian after said thing happens. Like I think the way it's delivered in the comic book has so much more of an impact, and it leaves like a
lingering.
No, like it changes the tone
Uh-huh.
after that happens. In the comic book, it was like, oh, something happened. Okay, moving on.
You mean the show?
Yeah, in the cartoon, the movie that we just
Okay.
watched, that's how it was like. It was just like, oh, said thing happened. Okay, moving on. The way it was dealt,
Uh-huh.
but in the comic book, it was so much more gritty, so much more. It hit home.
But you also have to keep in mind there's a time limit on the movie. So like in the comic book, you can soak it in differently than you can soak in something happening on a movie, and you have to move on. So maybe like he's saying, it hits different in the show, but it'll still do what it needs to do and move on. But in a comic, you can read something and just sit in that scene.
I, in good conscience, have read Injustice, and I know you've read some Injustice.
Only the 2 years,
I
but
cannot, in good conscience,
recommend
this.
Okay. And Kelsey,
You can't recommend this
Nah.
movie?
to people. He says to people who've read it.
Not
Who read
to the
the-
people who, if you have not read the comic, then by all means do your thing.
I
But
don't
if
know.
you-
I
but-
don't feel like this is like I understand what you're saying about how it hits differently, like in the comic, but I don't feel like this is an Avatar: The Last Airbender situation. I feel like
That's-
they still did a decent job of portraying a lot of things. You know, like it may not hit as hard, it may not have the same impact, but I don't feel like this is a situation. Like,
Yeah.
how do you
Well, I mean,
fuck
but-
that up?
But that's what makes Injustice so impactful is because it's hard hitting.
But
And
he's saying
if you take situations and make them lighthearted, that just takes the win out of the cell, man.
yeah, but it's also a ratio. Like how bad is it? What?
Ratioed.
I don't know what that term is. I'm too old. I keep hearing people throw, "Oh, I ratioed him on Twitter." No idea what that means. So you can educate me on that later. Anyway, I gotta let everyone know. All right, I'm here, 100% transparency. It's Halloween time. I am the ghost. You can see right through me, right?
Accept me how I am.
How as hairy and as small cock as I am, right?
Oh God.
What was I gonna say?
You was going to make a point about the difference between
Yeah, because like I saw the Avatar movie first, and then on this podcast, you guys know that I saw the show afterwards, and holy shit. Yeah, after watching the show, I'm like, y'all fucked up. I can see why there's no second or third movie, because it was just way off mark. And if it's that bad, then I understand not watching it. But if it's, again, just a small variation, like, okay, that scene didn't hit as hard, I can still watch it.
Yeah,
The main plot points are hitting.
I don't think they missed. Obviously, I haven't read the comics, so I can't say this for 100%.
Right.
But watching this, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and the little that I do know about it, I felt like they at least hit the mark to some extent.
Mhm.
You know, it may not be as impactful as the way it is in the comics, you know, because they are trying to make this a little more lighthearted for, you know, most audiences, but there is still death, there is still some gruesome stuff, and it's not like they were like, oh, you know, Duke Nukem just died off screen. Like, well, how do you know? Well, you just kind of can infer because Superman was angry and he went after them. No, like you see him put his hand through Joker. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
whatever happens, they show it on camera. It's not like, or not camera. You know what I mean? On the frame.
It's a camera.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I mean, I enjoyed. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be.
Watch it. I want to see. I want to see if it's as disrespectful as Thor Ragnarok to me.
how is Thor Ragnarok disrespectful?
Hey Brian, what's your favorite comic book line? Oh, Planet Hulk. Hey, our Thor movies aren't hidden. Let's put Thor in the Planet Hulk series and not give Hulk a movie.
Yeah. Again, well, Brian, you're fighting multiple things. 1, MCU is its own universe. 2, the movie industry. 3, licensing. That like everything's up against you here.
Again, when I talk about that movie, I don't say the movie sucks. I just say it's not for me.
Yeah. Chad was asking what show we were talking about. We're talking about the movie Injustice, the animated movie. All right, but we're moving on.
I would recommend giving it at least one watch.
Right.
I thought they did a pretty decent job. I am a little disappointed in the ending, you know, because from what I know that this series is huge. So, you know, maybe the ending kind of fucked it up. Maybe they like left, you know, because they sort of left it open ended, sort of not, you know, type thing, and they might bring more back, but don't know.
All right. We'll just end up watching it, especially if it's only like it's barely an hour and a half. That's an easy watch.
Not even an hour and a half.
I'll watch it.
I guess we can move. I mean, let's just move. We're talking about comic book. Keep it moving. Kelsey, you saw Venom 2.
Yes.
Now, as a person, are you gonna take off your head? You gonna spoil it? Brian's already taken off his headphones.
I don't think I'm gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and keep it as vague as possible. But I mean, you know, it's Let There Be Carnage. It's clearly about Carnage, which is you know, Venom and Spider-Man fighting each other. And then,
I'm sorry, Kelsey, to cut you off. Brian, was he joking?
No. Yes, he was joking.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, he didn't know that Carnage was in this? Okay, Kelsey, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's Oscar-winning acting was right there because Randall was sold.
You know, it's Venom versus Spider-Man because that's where everything came from, and they're like fighting and they get tangled up, and then somebody's cock came out.
Yes.
And
what?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I may have watched the wrong movie.
And that's the right movie. That's the right movie.
No.
What is wrong with you, man?
Everything's wrong with me.
So this one is definitely personally better than their first one because it's not just the globs of shit going together. During fight scenes.
You're probably going to answer all these questions, but these are the main fucking questions I need answered, right? Because I saw the first movie and I'm like, okay. 1, is Venom doing cool shit?
I thought you were gonna ask them all, or do you want me to
just go ahead one by one answer it? Is Venom doing cool shit?
He's doing some cool stuff, yeah. I don't feel like they utilized him as much in this one for just like the normal everyday activities type thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, in the first one he's like driving the motorcycle and like whipping around things and whatever. Not quite as much of that, but the fight scenes with him are definitely a lot more involved than just, oh, they mesh together and they're sort of fighting in their symbiote form and then shit comes out. No, there's like actual fights with him in it.
And then my follow-up, how easy is it to see these things happening? Is it always at nighttime like in the first one, so we can just motion blur everything to the darkness?
I think I'm pretty sure a lot of it took place at night, yes.
Fucking Christ.
The main part was in a well-lit building,
Okay.
if I remember correctly, so that you can like actually see things happening.
Okay.
You know, again, I feel like the fights in this were done way better than the other one. There's actually like interactions, and like even things at night, there was better lighting. You could see things that were happening between, you know, Venom or Carnage or you know, whoever else is in the scene. Like it wasn't just like, oh, there's a bunch of smoke and then some dude just suddenly like, there he goes. You know?
And then finally, does Eddie Brock and Woody Harrelson's character have some sort of arc that we care about?
So, Woody Harrelson plays Cletus.
Cassidy.
Yeah. So, which I didn't know about his character until this, like I don't know a ton about Carnage or Venom.
Mhm.
But I went and read up on him afterwards. But you know, he's a serial killer who apparently shared a jail cell with Eddie Brock in the comics, and then Eddie gets out and they keep talking because they're quote unquote friends. And it's more Cletus just wanting to have a friend and Brock just being like, dude, you're weird. And
Venom
I
has
think
a baby.
they according to the people on Reddit, they changed slightly how Carnage is created,
Okay.
but not like in a significant way that you're just like
What happened here?
you have a comic, just fucking follow part of the comic, please, you know, type
is
thing.
it still Venom's baby?
No. This much I do know about the movie. No, it's not.
It's not? Okay. So how did they change it then?
It is.
You consider that to be his baby? Well, you've seen the movie, so you would know better. But wasn't it fun? I don't know.
Brendo, did you watch the movie?
I know how they made Venom. Now, Kelsey saw the movie, so he might know way more than me. So I'm just gonna shut up. But based on what I've heard, it's not the same. But go ahead, Kelsey.
It's not quite the same, no. But you know, it still has to do with the bloodstream and part of Venom, or like a spawn off Venom.
Okay.
But it's from what I've read,
so
it
technically
is not quite the same. You know,
it's just technically the same.
Yeah.
Got
you
it.
know,
It's technically. Wait, I need confirmation. It's technically the same.
Technically, I mean, it deals with blood. And it deals with part of Venom attaching to Cassidy's bloodstream, which is what happens in the comics. Like part of it goes into like there's like a cut on his hand or something, and Venom gets in there, or part of Venom gets in there, and then creates Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It also explains his red color is because he fuses with the blood, not necessarily with Cassidy himself.
Right.
I have a question.
Or you just
Oh no, you
my sleep down.
Oh, Brian.
I have a question.
What's up?
Large.
Believe it or not, that just made me forget what I was gonna say.
Oh my gosh, Randall, sort it out. Go ahead. So that's the only question I wanted, because I saw the first movie and I'm like, this is fine. Then I saw the trailer for this one and I'm like, I think I can skip this. So I'm like, if it's actually worth watching. I mean, I'm
Oh, I do have one small question. Do you see Carnage a lot in the movie?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
That's
yes.
good.
Now, there's definitely a lot of Carnage because it is very dark.
Oh, Brian's on. He's working his shift today. Right.
And I'm not going to spoil this, but at the very end, they always show like a little clip, possibly revealing like another movie.
Yeah.
I am excited for
What
the
happens
next movie
next?
that he's in. Yes.
Legolas.
Yes.
Is it a post
Yes, he
credit
gets
scene
sent
or is
back in
it?
time to the Lord of the Rings series, and then fights with Darth Vader, and
It sounds like a no. Keep going. It sounds like a Fortnite expansion. This
Does
sounds like this.
Conquer go Super Saiyan?
yes,
Yeah, this sounds like the next season of Fortnite.
after freezing time.
Time with it. Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh.
And Joey.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. You just said Yu-Gi-Oh. Like that's the
The whole
character
show.
name.
I always get this mixed up. Saruman is the eye, right?
Sauron
No,
is the eye.
Sauron is the
Saruman
eye.
is the old white dude that Gandalf replaces.
And
And then
Sauron
Dormammu's
is the eye.
skull.
Yeah, and then Dormammu's a skull.
Okay.
Yeah. The one yelling "Run." That's Dormammu.
Run. All right.
Game's on sale right now. $9. PC.
What are we talking about? Go ahead. Continue the review. My bad. I just had some questions. Is all. So you
I mean, this one. I felt like this one was definitely played. This one definitely played out a lot better than
the
the
first one?
first one. You know, like the first one was cool because it was like an introduction. You didn't know really what was going on. Shit's just happening. You know, they kind of had to mask a lot of things. This one, it's a little more open. And I don't know. The action was definitely better. I don't feel like that the like the connection between Brock and Venom is quite the same as in the first one, you know, because they've now become friends. And so there's not a lot of just like random shit going on where, you know, he's like doesn't know what's happening and then he's being swung around a pole on his motorcycle and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is a little disappointing. I feel like they didn't utilize him just doing random shit all the time.
Okay.
You know, because they definitely played true to the whole we're gonna be good guys type thing, and we're not gonna like eat people unless they're bad guys.
Which makes sense.
You know, like they finished that off in the first movie, at the very end of the first movie. If you didn't like the first one, you might not like this one, but I definitely feel like it's worth giving this one at least a shot because the action is a lot better. Woody Harrelson plays an amazing
Serial
psychopath,
killer.
you know, and the carnage scenes are just incredible. So,
all right. I'll check it out eventually. It's in my backlog. It's just I remember Randall asked me if I was gonna go watch it in theaters, and I'm like,
I want to see it.
I don't think it's theater material for me. I might wait for digital to come out and go check it out.
I don't know that it was necessarily worth watching in theaters, but it was definitely a fun experience.
Gotcha.
You know, I know Shannon wanted to go see it, and I wanted to get out of the house and go watch something.
Right.
So,
would you watch it again?
Would I watch it again? Yeah. I mean, we've seen Venom a couple times.
You know, I find it interesting that she had no drive to watch Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but she's dying to watch a Venom movie.
Wild, right? Yeah.
They have a handsome man, Tom Hardy there. I don't know. Interesting.
You thought you knew someone.
Yeah.
I thought you know a person.
I think you know someone.
You think you know someone. Oh, crap. All right. Oh, that's definitely on the backlog then, I guess. Speaking of backlog, I finally, after rebuying this game on PC, played through Days Gone. So Days Gone was originally a PlayStation exclusive that came out on PlayStation 4. Who knows what year? I guess I can just click on this fucking
PlayStation.
Is this your version of The Last Remnant?
Yeah, but it's shorter. Because I think The Last Remnant is like a lot of hours, right? Like it's like 50 hours. Yeah.
It's quite a few hours, yeah. Like even like pushing through it, it still takes a while.
Yeah, this didn't take me that long. But so Days Gone came out on PlayStation. I tried to play it on the console. Go ahead, Brian.
I bought it on sale on PC because in my head, this is what I thought the game was going to be, right?
Gotcha.
And that was going to be something like you get check marks on the map and you just shoot a bunch of zombies. And you have a motorcycle sometimes. That's what I thought the game was going to be. I thought I can autopilot it.
All right,
I don't know if that's the case.
From that list of things, yes, there's check marks. You shoot some zombies, sure, you better have the ammo for it. Sometimes there's motorcycles. That is your life, is your motorcycle. If it runs out of gas, you're on foot. So you got to make sure you plan accordingly to make sure that you get gas from an infinite gas can that just always has gas, no matter where you find it. So like the gas item doesn't have a limited amount.
So every time you saw one of those red canisters, it always had gas.
It always has
in
gas.
Oh.
So that's great. Go ahead.
What's the melee combat like? And is there any actual reason to kill zombies? Like, do you level up and stuff, or what?
You do level up. You do have there's XP you get, and you want to kill the zombies because they drop their ears, not ears, but like you pick up their ears as bounties, and you trade them into your camp to gain money and camp trust, which unlock more weapons and more upgrades for your bike.
You know what I never understood about that?
And there's multiple camps. So just because you trade in the bounties and the food, there's animals you can kill and bring as food. If you trade it to one camp, you get trust XP, whatever, for that camp, and not all of them. Go ahead, Randall.
No, I was just gonna say I don't understand why what do they do with the ears?
No idea.
Necklace.
They might have mentioned it. Didn't care.
If you eat them, Randall, your hearing gets better.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
There was I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 different types of zombie types. There's the regular ones that you see, like the fodder, that are just, hey, I see you, I go and just swing at you until you die. There's the siren that obviously yells and more shit comes flying at you, and also drains your stamina when she yells. Not sure how that works. Then there's a roided out one that literally loves absorbing ammunition. So that's fun to go up against. Then there's one called a reacher that's like super quick. And he's like just hairier and he swipes at you because he's quick. And I think that was it. I might have. Oh, and then the newts, which are child zombies that attack attack in packs. And again, this is going to be sounding really weird coming from me, but swinging a bat at those kids is very satisfying. Newts, zombie kids.
Wow.
Is very,
Anthony.
you know?
It may or may not be related to what you just said. Are there Molotovs in the game?
There is Molotovs in this game that you can. Yeah. Anywho, speaking of Molotovs, there's throwable weapons that you can craft. There's healing items you can craft. You can buy crafting recipes, or not buying, sorry. You can find recipes by taking over ambush camps, which is like bad guys having camp. You clear them out, you find their bunker, go in there, and you unlock some sort of recipe.
I got a question for you.
Go for it.
What makes this game different than any other zombie game?
Than any other zombie game?
Mm-hmm.
Most zombie games aren't open world. They're always, hey, Left 4 Dead types, get to this place as fast as possible without dying from zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an open world with zombies in it.
No, I said what makes it different.
I just told you, it's an open world.
Oh, so you're saying like this game is open world and the other ones aren't?
Likely, for the most part, no. And State of Decay is open world-ish, but it's like a section of a map. And then also that's a multiplayer, so that's even better.
Hmm.
And there's different mechanics that happen. Like this is like we took an open world Ubisoft game without the fucking, what is it, the radio towers to unlock areas.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a zombie. That's what
Is
I'm gonna
Back
get
4
at.
Blood open world?
No, it's a linear. It's like Left 4 Dead in all the right ways. But that's just me. Well, I'll review that once we get more time into it.
Didn't we review it?
The beta. We just played a little bit of the beta, and then we had our hopefully this is great talk, and then now the game's actually out
on Game Pass.
On Game Pass. Shout out to Game Pass.
Speaking of betas, Elden Ring got delayed until February of 2022, and you can sign up for a closed network test if anybody's interested.
Oh, that's definitely for Javi and yourself too. I mean, you played the Souls games.
Yeah, I had my brother sign up too, so in case he gets it, I can still play.
Those are
But it's
facts.
just on PC.
No, it's on PS4, PS5, or Xbox.
Okay.
Well, I mean, even so, I think you can. The more people sign up, I guess you can still get as long as you have an account, I guess.
Can you send me the link? Poor
Yeah.
favor.
Anywho,
What I'll do is I'll just sign up, and if I get it, I don't think Javi has a PS4 or 5, so I'll just let him do remote play or something.
oh, that's true. Yeah,
Did you like the gameplay?
the gameplay got me. I have as an older man, I've grown accustomed to open world games. Why?
What is he talking about?
Because I'm gonna let you know what the fuck I'm talking about, Brian. Because I'm a man that likes progress, that is addicted to progress, some sort of moving forward. And what really helps is checklists, Randall. Most open world games nowadays are just checklists of, hey, you can do all this shit if you want, right? Yeah, you can beeline the game, but isn't it satisfying to just tick another checkbox, to just progress, right?
For me, as long as it's progressing the story, sure.
The story in this, cool, right? Whatever. You lost your girl. Now you're living 700 and something days later. That's one of the games.
Like deceased, or you don't know where she is?
A little bit of both, because the zombie outbreak happened. He puts her on a helicopter, and they didn't have room for everyone that he was with, so he just sent her off. And then he and his buddy.
And the helicopter goes up, but then it gets like exploded,
No.
and then you're a scientist.
No.
Oh,
So then he sends the helicopter off somewhere, right? And then Deacon St. John is the main character, and his boy Boozer go to the camp where the helicopter was supposed to go, and it was all turned to shit. So it's like, oh man, she probably died. And then 700 days later, the game picks up, and that's the game you're playing. And then halfway, I'm gonna spoil it because fuck this, right?
I heard she's the
Wait,
leader of
so
the zombies.
when you start actually playing the game, you're already at 700 something days?
Yeah.
Oh,
You think I'm sitting there for 700 in-game days, Randall?
I don't know.
The game is not worth that. I can tell you that. Playing that game for 700 days is not, no. What the heck, Randall? 700
I'm pretty
days?
sure it wouldn't be real time 700.
Oh, right.
Much later.
Yeah. Anywho, what was I talking about? Yeah, spoilers.
gameplay.
Spoilers. There's hints of her still being alive, and that sort of becomes the main story. Oh, maybe she's alive, which then intertwines with a bunch of other shit that's happening in the world. Like Nero is the people who are doing some tests on the fucking zombies, and then you're like, oh, what are they working on? All right, not focus on that anymore. Focus on camp issues. So like the leader of the camp is like, yo, we have Duke Nukem again here. He went missing with our bullshit. Go get him. And then you go and get him. It's a lot of just be busy quests until like, oh, now we found her. Spoilers. Let's leave, right? Now we can save these things and turn them back to normal. Word? Okay, that's interesting. Maybe we'll do that. We kill everything. Credits. All right. What a waste of my time.
How do you feel about the horde?
The hordes are...
Whores?
no, horde.
What?
Oh.
That's the
How
one
do you
cool...
feel about whores?
Oh my god!
I mean, it's a good way to make a living.
I
a lot of easy
said
cash.
horde.
Yeah, that's what we asked. How do you feel about the whores?
Oh my god!
The hordes I thought were cool because it's a very creative way of trying to figure out how to kill. Like the horde and the big strong dudes are like, make sure you have max ammo, max Molotov, everything, because you're gonna need it. It's just the horde is literally like an army of zombies chasing you nonstop until you're dead, or you ride off in your motorcycle. Problem is, some of the stories lead you into like you can't avoid them, so you have to like make sure you learn how to fight them because the story intertwines with some hordes. Because there's a bunch of hordes around the map. You can another checklist thing. You can go and clear them all out. There's infection nests that you clear out, so then you can fast travel between places. Because if there's an infestation nest, that's what it is, in between where you want to go to fast travel, you can't fast travel because it's like, oh, that's not safe enough. Or if you don't have enough gas to fast travel, you can't fast travel to get to your destination, depending on how far away it is. So small things like that, I'm like, okay, those are cool systems, right? Which is not really systems, it's just how far is this scale, right? Anywho,
For some strange reason, O'Brien reminds me of you.
that's really
I don't
weird.
know why.
Yeah, why?
I don't know why. Maybe because he's a man of science.
Okay.
But every time he was on screen, I'm like, that's Anthony underneath the helmet.
It could be. Yeah, I don't know. It does its job fine, right? There's nothing. It's an open world game with zombies in it. The main character's all right. Oh, and oh my god, sound. This man is literally like mumbling around, saying stuff like this. I'm gonna go and kill them, and that's what you hear. Like he's talking to himself. And there's this one scene at the end of the game. He doesn't make speeches and stuff most of the time, but that's how he talks normally. So like everyone's surrounding this campfire. And it's like speech, speech, speech. And I'm telling you, he'll start off normal like this, and then he'll go with like and like whispering. And I'm like, fucker, you're in the middle of a speech. The guy next to you can barely hear you. And it's like they recorded his lines away from anything. Like he had no context. He just read them as if he's talking to
Randall playing
himself.
this character?
Yeah, like
Come on, man. At least I would have projected my voice.
there's times where I'm like, they didn't direct him and like, yo, you're talking to another human being this far away from you. He'll be on the radio on the call, and it's like, Boozer will tell him, hey man, how's it going? No man, like I could barely understand what he's fucking saying, and Boozer will respond like nothing, like it's, oh yeah, I heard what he said.
What if they're like sore throats only for casting?
The most egregious is that like final scene. There's multiple scenes actually where it's like him talking to a group of people, and he'll like, I'm just gonna be talking. The guy in the back should be like, what? What the fuck are you saying? That's why I should have heard the back.
It
Like,
was just.
yeah, like he'll start in the middle of a sentence, just I'm just gonna submit like this. Oh, you don't think I can do something like that? And I'm back to like this, and I'm like, what are you doing? It wasn't believable dialogue performance, right?
Nah.
It was I don't know. I think there's times where I'm laughing because I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what else to talk about. I mean, if you love an open world game, this will definitely take like, the environments are fantastic. Just riding around on a motorcycle is fun. Killing off, like, again, checklists, taking out camps, upgrading, getting cooler weapons, trading in bounties and stuff like all that stuff that keeps you busy is fun.
Do you think do you think this fits the looking for autopilot game? Do you think this fits in that group, or you think not even?
For me, yeah, open world games are usually autopilot because it's just a bunch of shit to do. And then if you just want I just want to complete things, this will do that. Until you have to like fight a horde or something, you have to be
Locked in.
You have to be locked in.
Is
Yeah.
there difficulty settings?
Yes. And I played it on normal, apparently.
What?
That was on normal.
Who are you and what
Good
have
for
done with
you,
it?
man.
I think, no, that,
No.
I'm
How
not
did it feel?
Variant.
oh, that I could have gotten through this faster. That's how it felt.
But you did it though, man.
And I've wasted time.
You didn't waste time. So
Randall,
now you should just try hard and see.
Randall, I have other games to play. I don't have time to redo an open world game in a harder difficulty, all right? I'm in the middle of playing Metroid Dread and becoming a Cuban revolutionary person, right? Like, it says it's Yara, it's Cuba. They're in Cuba. It's
Wait, what did
Cuban
you say?
accents. Yara.
You said you were playing Metroid Dread,
Yeah.
and then you said Cuban.
Yeah, Far Cry. Far Cry takes place on an island called Yara, but it's really just Cuba.
I'd like to see Randall thinking that Samus was in Cuba.
Yeah.
That's what my brain went. I'm like, what?
I want to see the image in your head.
She's just
Of
chilling
Samus
without the
and
suit on, just... Yeah, I'm playing Metroid Dread. I'm cycling through Metroid Dread and Far Cry. And Days Gone, but I finished Days Gone, so I don't know what the hell I'm going to play tomorrow.
I play
Like Samus, yeah. What was I going to say? But Far Cry, Brian, I'm telling you, the Hispanic... This game is so Hispanic, you cannot laugh. You can't stop yourself from laughing.
Are we talking Freddie Prinze Jr. playing a Hispanic person, or
No, not like laughing at like mocking them. These are like legit. There's some characters who are like legit Cuban. Like people are sitting here,
Like
"Que
with
bola, pinga." It says is like multiple times in the show in the game. Like it's Cuban, and it's really funny because I make fun of like dialects from different Hispanic countries, and it sounds like it's me making fun of them. It's great. There's one my favorite so far. I think his name is Philly. He has a dog called Chorizo, and the dog has 2 working legs, and then he has and it's on like a wheelchair
wheels.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wheels. But he's like, oh my god, like
He's fat?
like no, he's like a skinny dude. He's like a mechanic. Anyway,
The dog.
no, it's slender. It's like a little pup.
Take it back.
What was I gonna say? Like a line he says, like, because you get a backpack in Far Cry that you shoot out like weird shit, like rockets, or you can EMP. Doesn't matter. In the cutscene, he's like, "Yo, and promise me," in Spanish. He's like, "Promise me I get to use the backpack." And then he's like, "No," and he's like, "Okay, well, don't let the poison hold you down." As he's driving away, and I'm like, "This guy's great."
Well, the what?
Well, don't let the poison take you down. And he just, but he's like, the facial animation is like that's a Hispanic person doing the face cap, the mocap. It's great. Anywho, now that I'm talking about Far Cry during my Days Gone review,
it's clearly Far Cry is better?
So with Days Gone, you said days went gone by quicker.
a little bit. Again, the moment to moment of gameplay is there. I like the riding around the motorcycle, going to a checkpoint to look for gas. Like, it's an autopilot game. The narrative was not like the world is just okay. It's so empty and the thing that's there is zombies, and the characters you meet are just the people at the camps. Like, there's no. It's a very dead world because obviously there's zombies everywhere. So there's not much to do or really appreciate besides the environment. The environment looks great and it's rendered great. But it's.
I feel like some of the developers have a difficult time creating interesting, engaging content because going to send deliver a letter once is fine.
Yo, we'll get to that. I reviewed Far Cry. That was the dumbest shit. Oh, thank you for reminding me. So you in Days Gone, you have a radio. You talk to everyone on. Yet, to start a mission with someone, you need to go to them and talk to them in person. But when you finish that mission, instead of turning it back in, it's like, hey man, the thing you wanted is here. Come pick it up. Completed.
Why not just be like, hey man, I need some help. Cool, what you need? Yeah, can you go to this location and do this? Sure. Hey dude, it's here. Come pick it up whatever you need.
What you don't understand is that's what pisses me off. They'll call you, hey man, I have a job for you. And then Deacon responds, all right, I'll be right over.
Why not just tell you?
Tell me what the fuck you want now. I don't have to waste gas. Like, there's things like that. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I kind of was thinking that when you save people, and like once you save them, you all right getting back to. No, apparently he's not. He was not going to be all right getting back because he would have never got captured in the first place.
You'll save people on the road, and you can send them to different camps. And if you send them to each camp, they give you something back in return. Some of them give you trust. The other one gives you cash and trust. Some of them just give you cash because they'll put them to work or whatever. So you'll save them and be like, hey man, just go to this camp, and you just ride off. How's he gonna get there? Right? It's weird. Hey man, go. And then another one is, hey man, go track down this guy and keep him alive. I keep him alive. All he does is tie him on the ground, and then we ride off. And he calls the dude, hey man, come pick up the dude you want me to grab. He's just laying down there. Okay.
I'm imagining he's on a motorcycle, whispering, and when he calls people, you just hear the motorcycle, and then he hangs up. The way you describe it.
When you play it, where you'll understand. Like, he'll talk to himself, but like in a whisper thing. And like the best is when you're going, like killing an ambush site, and you kill someone. Yeah, you thought it was cool just like, to kill people who come by, huh? How does it feel now? Like that shit, like that over the entire time. And
That just sounded weird when I first heard.
it's like he's getting off on killing people.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. It's quite the game. I mean, again, if you don't have an open world game, which as of this recording, Far Cry 6 exists, They again, granted, it's two different games because it's a zombie one, so it does that fine.
I'm surprised the Far Cry series hasn't done the zombie one yet.
Because they're falling into a formula of who's a crazy bad guy, or like this bad guy's crazy, or he's some sort of dictator or tyrant. We have to go take him down.
What they
And
should
that's
do?
been the formula ever since.
I Am Legend crossover. It's Far Cry with that one guy who's trying to get his wife back, and he kept headbutting. That's the main bad guy.
That's wild. I mean, I'm down for that.
And you play as the dog.
What?
Do you remember how that ended for the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. That's gonna be
before that.
I understand, but
before that,
I'm just letting you know that I don't want that ending for myself, right?
Well, choose correct.
Oh. Anywho, do I recommend it? Yes. If you're looking for an open world game with stuff to do, like Brian said, autopilot, it's a great autopilot game. I don't know if it's at full price right now. I definitely recommend it if it's on sale, like $20-$30. But to go out there and play $60 for it, I'd say go get Far Cry. But then again, there's bias because I'm Hispanic and it's a Hispanic place, and Gus is the bad guy, and the performances are great. So
this game is third person, right?
Yes.
You know, if you want some third person game, great story, 60 plus hours base game, 2 DLCs just as big, only 2 games in this series, you can play Witcher 2 and Witcher 3.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I really enjoyed Witcher and my time with it. So, speaking of which, thank you, Brian, for the transition. Randall, you watched the animated show. Or the animated movie, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was good, man.
I thought Brian would have watched it by now.
In my head, I thought we said we were going to watch it together, so that's why I didn't.
What?
I don't remember.
If that was the case. I don't know if that was the case. I'm saying
Okay.
That's what I thought. So
I
I
was
hadn't
gonna
watched it yet.
Almost felt like trash.
Yeah, but I don't remember. And it was.
No, I'm not saying it's confirmed. I think that's why I didn't watch it yet.
I think what we did say was that we're all going to watch it this week. Like we were going to watch it this weekend, as in for the next podcast. I can see. We probably said.
Don't feel bad, Randall. Not confirmed. I think that's just what I told myself to not watch it.
Brian didn't see the whole pre-release, so we can't. You know.
I mean, if you want to save it, we could watch it this week and then talk about it as a group next week.
If that's what you want.
I don't have a problem with that.
He's gonna forget the movie
because it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. It's been out.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could do that. It's fine. I did want to watch it. So, how long? Do you know the length, Randall, or I can look it up?
I don't remember the length.
Hour 23. So it's a little long, a couple minutes longer than Injustice.
So I gotta watch Injustice. I gotta watch this, and I gotta finally watch Inside.
Oh yeah, but I keep thinking you've already watched it.
Inside.
Watch what?
Inside the Bo Burnham thing.
The Bo Burnham comedy special that he made while he was in quarantine.
Oh.
Okay. Then we'll skip on that then, Randall. We'll go to Kelsey real quick. He had a grand time watching Ariati. Tell me about the secret world of Ariati.
So it's Studio Ghibli. So you already know it's going to be incredible.
Yes.
It's one that I had never heard about, and I was like looking through the list, and this came up, and I was like, okay, I want to give this a shot. So Ariati is a little person, and by little person I mean she's like 4 inches tall. Okay, and apparently it's like a species of something. They're like fairies, you know. They exist alongside humans in this world. And it focuses on her mom and her dad, and then they're in whatever house they're living in. And at the very beginning, this boy shows up to the house, and he is the nephew of the owner. And the story takes place with Ariati. They're called borrowers, and what they do is they go into the house at night and they borrow things that people won't miss, like cubes of sugar, maybe a bay leaf, things that are useful to the borrowers. That is not really something you're not going to notice a literal cube of sugar missing. but that cube of sugar is like the size of their head, and it's something that will last them for, months.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah. Any Studio Ghibli animation is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
But they pay so much attention to the details of everything that it's like shit that you don't even think about. So if you think about like the fact that these people are 4 inches tall, okay?
Yeah.
They show a scene in them with the kitchen, and she's like boiling tea or something. And the pot that she uses is like, this big. Okay?
Yeah.
Like the size of your pinky nail or something. They showed the animation of water coming out of it at a very odd pace, because you think like when you pour stuff out of a normal, tea kettle, it just kind of pours out for us. But that's because, the viscosity of water with like a droplet, it just kind of flows out of something that big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the teapot can't even really hold a droplet, and it has to have a certain amount to like even come out and like release, like they paid attention to that and displayed that when she's pouring tea. Like it was incredible to watch. But Ariati is told by her parents that humans are bad, and that if they get found out, they'll get captured or killed or something. And so they always try and sneak around and not get noticed.
Mm-hmm.
At the very beginning, she gets noticed by the boy because the cat is trying to attack her. And she doesn't think she gets noticed, but then later in the movie, he realizes that she is real and that she did see him, because during the borrowing, her first borrowing with her dad, they sneak into his room to get like a tissue or something, and he's awake and sees her again, and then starts to talk to her, and so they kind of abandon everything and leave. And then it kind of goes through the whole process. Well, they've been found out. They're going to have to move because, they don't want anything bad to happen to the family. They have to survive. And then they find out that there are more people like them, and they go to try and live with them. But the focus is mostly on Ariati and the boy. And it's just, kind of a heartwarming story of the not all humans are bad. He wants to protect the borrowers and help them out, and they end up having a friendship between Ariati and the boy. I think his name is Sho.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a movie.
So
I have a question.
what's up?
So you said it's called borrowing. Do they actually like give anything back?
Yeah, I kind of thought that was strange as well, because the borrowing is not. It's
really borrowing.
Yeah, it's them stealing stuff, but it's them taking things that are. It's not like they're like, stealing silverware and things. Like this is stuff that is replenishable in mass quantities, like sugar and bay leaves and useful things for them that they would like need to consume to be alive. What?
Brian said.
What did he say?
I'll let him do it. I'll let him say it.
You're like, oh, borrowing like sugar or napkins, and then I said ass sweat.
What the?
Yeah. I mean, that's replenishable.
So, yeah, I mean, it's an hour and a half. It's it's Studio Ghibli. It's incredible. Definitely give it a watch, especially if you enjoy Studio Ghibli. I'm
Yes,
probably
sir.
going to go on
This is animated?
Yeah, all of their stuff is
Yes.
animated, man. Studio Ghibli is. If you haven't, go and literally binge a long time, a few years back on my apartment days, I binged all the movies that were out until whatever time I watched it. I forgot what year it was. It's a fantastic ride of one animation quality, just fantastic, and then stories are very creative.
Oh, yeah.
Fucker
Like,
put it away in the middle of the movie right in front of me.
Oh
You
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
What
but
happened?
I do have.
He's told this story before. I started I think completed watching Spirited Away or something else, like halfway through it, because I paused it beforehand and I just resumed it where I left off. like right in front of
Yeah.
Brian. So he saw half of the movie.
Oh,
And
snap.
he's like, he's always doing his dongle bullshit, right? So he saw that. He's like, oh, let me test something, and just plays the movie to finish like halfway through.
Jeez.
My dongle bullshit.
But yeah, I definitely am gonna have like I'm gonna be binging a lot of the movies. I've only seen a couple. Spirited Away is definitely my favorite.
Mhm.
It's a classic.
And My Neighbor Totoro
Yes.
is incredible.
I've only
But I
seen-
have like a list of movies that I want to see. Howl's Moving Castle,
Excellent.
Ponyo,
Yes.
Kiki's Delivery Service,
Yes. Princess
was
Mononoke.
That's the
Castle in
only
the
one I saw
Sky.
as of
Yeah,
recent.
Princess Mononoke. Like I've seen Princess Mononoke, but it's been so long since I've seen it. Like I'm excited to watch it again. But I definitely have a lot of movies that I want to watch from them.
It's great. It's animation. Even the music in some of those games or those movies are just fantastic. A
You
lot
know,
of
the cutscenes of Ni no Kuni remind me of Studio Ghibli stuff. I don't know why.
it might have the same style, like art style. Oh, you got me. So it sounds like you recommend it. Easy.
Yes, easy. Like I mean, I don't know that there's a I don't know I don't know that there's a Studio Ghibli that I wouldn't recommend
Yeah,
because
I'm on
when
that point.
Cars too.
everything about it is incredible. Like the attention to what?
You said there's not a Studio Ghibli movie he wouldn't recommend, and he said Cars 2, and then grabbed his water bottle.
But their attention to detail, like they're 4 inches tall, and so all the sounds are a lot louder.
Yep.
Like them rustling through the grass. It would be like if we're walking through the jungle and we're moving plants and things. That would be an equivalent. Thunder's louder, rain's louder. Um, it's amazing what they do to really get you into the scene and the spirit of the movie.
Mhm.
So, and all of their animations in general, like the artwork is beautiful. All the still shots are incredible. And then the animation just is over the top with all of
Yes.
it.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
Everything is super fluid. It's very beautiful. It's very well done. I just love it.
Yeah,
So it's
I'm I co-sign everything he just said.
you haven't seen it.
I sure have. Okay. Oh, snap, Randall. Randall's got a music minute. Your favorite band released a new album, Randall. Get off your phone, Randall.
I'm looking at the movie that
You can watch it later on your big
Yeah,
screen, not on your
The
phone.
movie's on Pornhub. All right.
Yeah.
What?
He said the movie's on Pornhub. How'd you not hear him? You have headphones on. Anyway, Randall, Coldplay released a new or body of work last week, and then you're like, yes, lit. You got naked, played the music, like.
I didn't get naked this time.
Okay.
I mean, they don't disappoint. So it's another one in the chamber.
Oh, nice. Like the whole thing, or was there some tracks that you were just like, is there any tracks that you skipped? Like you're like, no, this is just not for me.
I never skip any of their tracks.
Okay.
There are some tracks that I was like,
Good,
okay.
but not like
But what usually happens is that when I play their music and I come across a song that's like, usually it ends up growing on me later on.
Yeah, I've had those tracks too. Where at first you're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then you'll either you'll catch the chorus or like a line, and you're like, you start singing it, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is it.
So for me, my favorite song is called Beautiful.
Oh, the one that's spelled like differently?
Yeah.
BIU,
Like Buddyful.
something like that.
Biutyful.
Okay.
I love that song, man. I've been pretty much listening to it every day, all day.
How's the tone for it? Is it like
The album in general?
yeah, like is it all upbeat music? Is there like sad, melancholy music? Is there a mix or
Nothing sad, but there are some laid back tracks. But they have their occasional upbeat ones. I think there's like 2 that's like really upbeat. I think. Let me see. Hold up.
Big fish.
I can tell you. Yeah, there's a couple of those, man.
That's when he's flexing on everyone. When Chris Martin, is it Chris Martin?
So my universe, yeah, Chris Martin.
Yeah.
So my universe,
Mm-hmm.
and Let Somebody or like those, because he did one with or they did one with Selena Gomez, which is Let Somebody Go.
Oh, he did have features this time. So who else is it? Who else has featured? Selena Gomez.
That's it.
Else? Oh, only one feature. Okay. Lit.
Yeah, man. It's Coldplay.
How long? What's the runtime for the album? Does it say? Oh, we can look it up, I guess.
42 minutes.
Oh, it's nice and short, under an hour. Come on,
12 songs.
I'm gonna give it a listen.
No
Some of those songs are like, let me see, like
I don't think they're known for doing skits in their previous work.
yeah, they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Those are numbers.
Those are like skits. They're not skits, but they're like short like ambiance type.
Oh, okay. To go into
So they don't even have titles. They're
it's just
symbols.
numbers. Oh, okay.
So I don't know what that is, but one of them is like an asterisk with a star. The other one is a heart. The other one is the moon, and another one is an infinity sign.
The first one is them hailing Satan.
Well, come on, man.
Maybe. Oh, it's supposed to be like an astrology thing then, because it's music of the spheres, and the cover art looks like it's in the star system there. So I guess that checks out.
Yeah. So I definitely.
That's a easy recommend
For me, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're a fan of so for fans of Coldplay,
Yeah.
keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
But what about?
I don't think they've ever dropped an album that I didn't like. So
Did you hear Brian's question?
what?
Is it your favorite album?
Nah, I don't have. Well, that's not true. Well, nah, I can't say that. I used to be able to say I had a favorite album, but it's funny that you asked me that because when I was listening, I was what was I going?
Yanking.
I think I was going. Maybe it was yesterday when I went to get coffee or whatever. I was thinking about that. I was like, I should make my own album of all my favorite Coldplay songs, and even do cover
like art,
like a art for the cover or whatever. Because
I was gonna say that's called a playlist.
You can do that in Spotify actually. I don't know if you can do it in Apple Music, but you can make a playlist and then just put the art as a thing.
Yeah.
As
I mean, I was
cover
going
art
to do
for
it
it.
on iTunes or whatever.
Do they let you do that? Like put your art for your playlist?
Yeah.
Got it.
So, but like I was saying, I used to have favorite albums, but
Now you just
not
have favorite
anymore.
tracks
Now it's just like a bunch of tracks that I really love.
that you mess with heavy.
I still feel like Clocks is probably
I mean, it's probably their biggest hit.
that's probably one of my most favorite tracks of all time.
Fish.
Behind that, Yellow. I really like Beautiful. That's up there, man.
What about that one song from Wedding Crashers? Sparks.
Yeah, Sparks is good. That's a little more melancholy. Sparks is a little more
Well, Yellow's super melancholy. Like that's Yellow is.
yeah.
Their first album, Rush of Blood to the Head, is probably the most depressing sounding album I've ever heard in my life.
You think so?
I almost ate a grenade.
Jeez.
The Scientist, speaking of which, Cobra in the chat, the second you mentioned that album, The Scientist was in that. And that's also a really sad song. They did good work. So it's like a full recommendation. I mean, I forgot I didn't know it came out until we mentioned it last week. I just haven't gotten to listen to it. And then this week I got some albums to listen to. And then, Adele already dropped the day she's dropping hers. So we'll see what happens.
I can't wait. I mean, I have to, obviously.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? Like you got it in the tuck?
You figure
You're talking about Adele's new album?
Yeah, she dropped a single, but I didn't listen to it yet because she also announced the date the whole thing's coming out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until the whole album's out.
Apparently, it's supposed to explain her divorce to her child.
What the hell?
Jeez.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody posted on Reddit, and then it was like, track 5, why you can only see daddy on the weekends.
Because he was seeing Vanessa on the weekdays.
Speaking of delays,
Let's
did you
fucking get
guys hear about all the moves that got delayed?
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
I think he said on the weekdays, and Reynolds said, "Speaking of delays, yo, you guys are tough."
You could say it's equivalent to Kendrick and Baby Keem. Like, let me get in this bitch. That's pretty much. Randall, who do you want to be, Baby Keem or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Who's
All right, so I'm Baby
smoking?
Keem.
He's smoking on my top 5.
He's smoking your top 5 tonight. So, just to let you know, I'm just gonna be in there going, "Oh." Anyway, full recommendation, and then we just went to something else.
Movie delays.
The movie delays. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's from Doctor Strange and on for like 2022 was pushed for a couple months.
Yeah.
I hope it's for the best. So
Show probably.
say again.
They're gonna push a new show probably.
Maybe. Perhaps.
When's the new Spider-Man movie coming out?
December.
This year, in December.
I thought it was November.
I'm really excited for that one too. For multiple
November.
reasons.
Hold on.
December.
It's December, right? Yeah.
December.
I'm confirming because Randall looked at me weird. December 17th.
Oh, it's what's it called? Comes out in November. What's the name of that joint?
Eternals.
Yeah.
Can you not hear Brian?
Eternal.
He sounds like a robot.
No.
Eternal.
Okay.
He went out in and out. He didn't go out in and out.
I think because the way he said Eternals, his mic probably compressed it or something.
Eternals.
Anyway. Yeah, it's weird. And they pushed back Indiana, which I gotta be honest, I'm not. Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Oh, is another one?
Yeah,
Is Harrison Ford supposed to be in it?
I don't. Randall, that's why I was like, I don't care anymore. Like, I like the original trilogy and just move on. If it comes out and it's good, cool. I'm not waiting in line for it, right? I'm kind of over.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Give out mid-movie.
Say again.
You're gonna see his knee give out like in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, like at that point, you're trying to replace like what is it? 80s? Was it in 80s? The movies came out or 90s?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, like
It was the 80s.
don't replace the guy. Just think of something else. Why are we at number 5 of Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't understand why they won't make new stuff either.
I mean, that's that's kind of the feeling I had in Uncharted 4. Like Uncharted 4 was great, but I'm like, we're still doing this? I don't know. But that's just me.
I'm sorry, what Assassin's Creed are we on?
Yeah. And we're not gonna go down this rabbit hole again, but yeah, like don't reuse a name. Just make something else, right?
Fantasy.
But to Final Fantasy's credit, like each game is completely
different. Yes.
Like it's like an anthology. So that I give them a slide because it's actually different. Whereas
every one of their games is like almost completely different. You know, they might improve on some stuff in certain games, but combat systems and trees and all that other stuff is all completely different.
Mm-hmm. So that's on that. Okay, so sorry. But I digress. Oh, Randall, let's talk about it. All right, you guys know I talked about Midnight Mass a few weeks ago, created by Mike Flanagan, I think it is. And then Diana told me about he had a show called The Haunting at The Haunting at something Hill House. What?
I think he said Black Panther.
I said what's on what he put the blind Manor. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's the
Now I wish I said Black Panther.
yeah. All right. So the first season is like the haunting at the haunted hill, like haunted hill or some shit. I forgot what it's called. I
keep saying haunted.
I come
Haunted.
I'm actually Ellie Golding.
What's your problem?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, that threw me off.
Brain aneurysm.
Anywho, she saw it and thought it was actually like legitimately like scary and stuff. But then there's a second series it's like an anthology thing. It's called The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I'm like, I'll watch it. Cool. It has our boy Raul Coley in it, just like in Midnight Mass. I'll give it a shot.
The lady Victoria Pedretti is in You season 2.
I'm sorry, I gotta go look up who this person is. Are you looking through the cast of the Haunted?
I'm looking through the cast of The Haunting of Black Panther.
Okay. The Haunting of Black Panther. Now I'm thinking of a show with like the Black Panther cast and Ellie Goulding.
Did he just threw him?
Yeah, did you just threw him? Sometimes you see some outlandish shit that my fucking English or my dialogue just goes out the window. I'm like, what just happened?
It's not even February.
Yeah. I think it's just, it's like an infection that's slowly been creeping in just all of my life instead of a certain month.
I think that's just anal warts.
It might be. Anywho, Haunting of Bly Manor. It's the chick you mentioned, Brian, that's in You season 2. She is used to be a teacher, right? And then moves to London for a job posting that she saw that she's just taking care of 2 kids because she had to get away from her problems in the estates, which we slowly see that in the rest of the season, what she's actually like running away from from America, sorry. And she has to take care of these 2 kids who are in this house, Bly Manor, with a gardener, which, Brian, that's all you. Irish lady named Jamie.
Yeah, let me look.
Oh, I guess I can tell. Yeah, look for Jamie, yeah. And then a cook named Owen, played by Raul Coley. And I guess the caretaker for the time, which was Hannah or Anna?
Hannah. I think what Hannah would have.
Hannah Cross or something, right? Yeah, Hannah Gross. Anywho, the uncle's the one that employed her. Like, he doesn't go to the house. He just says he needs someone to take care of the kids. And his name is Henry Wingrave. Anywho, like normal, she introduces herself to the kids. She starts, being the caretaker there, and then weird shit starts to happen. And Brian, this is a show you cannot watch.
Oh yeah.
Period.
No, he would love it.
Because the whole just things are standing there that should not be there at least 20 times an episode. Like, it is not free. It is the anti-Brian.
And it's not like in your face. It's like
it's subtle in the back, and in like the character speaking, and it's somewhere in the background. Almost every other scene.
But
so this is a scary movie?
It's supposed to be. It's a show. It's like a horror. It's like, I would say a mystery more than a horror, because there's not a lot of jump scares. There's maybe 1 or 2 jump scares, so it's not intended to scare you. It's just, yeah, it's like suspenseful because the house is haunted, and you start to learn how and why it's haunted.
Just move, bitch.
Get out the way.
Yeah, I guess so. That would be an option, and then none of this shit would have happened.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, but rich people don't do that.
Yeah, like they don't, and the kids don't have any say in where they live, right?
Yeah.
They're kids, and everyone else just works there. So, anywho, it's that. I don't want to spoil it because I after watching Midnight Mass and watching this, I'm a huge fan of Mike Flanagan. It's one of those things where, like, the shots are great. He doesn't waste frames. If he's showing you something, it's because it's like relevant or prevalent to whatever he's going to show in that episode or later on in the season. He likes to drop in a lot of small things within the frame, so you can be like, oh, was that? Or was this that person? Or, oh, that ghost looked familiar. Like, what's up, Brian?
Am I allowed to watch Midnight Mass? I don't remember.
There's like 1 or 2 standing there, like, but it's a jump scare version of it. Like, it's not supposed to be there, but the characters see it and they go, what the fuck? But you can definitely watch Midnight Mass. This one, you might, if that really bothers you a lot, this is full of it. If you see it. Because it's not like, hey, look, he's in the back. Like, they don't show it like, oh, look, back here. It's just things are happening, like conversations are happening, and they're in the background.
So if I just listen to the show, I should be fine?
You should be great.
What in the world?
Just listen to it as a podcast. Episode 2 of The Haunting of Bly Manor. I thought just an interesting way of showing a ghost story the way they do, right? And the way they perceive death and the way they perceive a human soul. Like, it's deeper than let's scare them, right? Like, you learn a lot about his universe and how he thinks spirits work, or how he thinks like the hauntings work. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
You've seen stuff from him apparently already.
Have I?
It's Doctor Sleep. Didn't you watch that?
Yeah, that's a sequel to The Shining,
It's his movie.
which is probably why we ended up saying it was a fine movie. I don't think when we reviewed
Gerald's Game.
Geralt's Game,
Gerald's Game, the one where lady's tied to a bed and there's a dead guy on him.
that was his as well.
Yeah.
Oh, then I've been a fan of him. So God bless him. Where is this? Where can I click on his name? Mike Flanagan, creator. Yeah, okay. God bless him then. I've been watching a bunch of his stuff and I liked it. So, The Haunting of Hill House. That's what the first season is called. I have to go back and watch that because they're separate seasons. You don't have to. They're not really connected. The actors are like they play the same. They have the same actors come back.
But as different characters.
Different characters, yeah. And his latest work was Midnight Mass, and then last year was this TV show. So he finished Haunting Bly Manor, and then this year he released Midnight Mass. Oh, he's been working he's been on a back-to-back. He did Geralt's Game, and then the year after Haunting of Hill House, and then a year after Doctor Sleep, year after this TV show, and then this year it's Midnight Mass. And I love Midnight Mass.
His pockets must be pretty deep.
I heard he eats his money. That's why the scary show. He was born in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, so you just get inherited with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the witch trials happen.
Then that kind of energy's there. Agatha, it was Agatha all along.
Wow.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm trying to keep it not spoilers anyway. But we're gonna keep it moving. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I think this point is a fanboy reviewing it because I liked all his other stuff before and I didn't even know it was him. I like his pacing. I like that he's not wasting. There's not much wasting of time. There is an episode, I guess that'll spoil what's happening. I guess there's episodes where it's like a repetition, but that's because it's it's kind of exploring how the things are working the way they are. So she slept.
Oh yeah.
Then she wakes. Then she walks. There's an episode where you hear that numerous times.
In English or with an accent?
English. It's in London. You have the Irish gardener, and everyone else is speaking with an English accent. Besides the main character, she's from America, so she's got an American dialect.
She from America.
And shout out to the kids in this show. Most of the time, the kid actors are fucking annoying, or they're just not. These kids already can act really well.
Perfectly
Splendid. And then the boy is just what he had to take on. Once you figure out what the thing is going on, you're like, oh, okay, it's a deeper appreciation for the child to do what he's doing.
Boy.
Yeah, boy. So, I mean, I recommend it. Again, but it's like the pacing is great, but it's slower paced in a way where like it's slower, but the things you're getting is meaningful for the rest.
Slow?
Yeah, in a way. Like they'll dedicate like an entire episode, 2 episodes of flashback. It's a flashback of certain characters, 2 or 3, but it's prevalent to what's happening in the season. So definitely, I give it
to be a watch with company show then.
No, it's because it's not scary.
What was the question?
If he has to watch it with company, like it's
he doesn't like that stuff. Remember?
But I don't think it's like it's not arresting. Like it's not like oh my god, that's scary. Like it's just things in the background that's happening. Like he makes it casual.
Yeah, but he doesn't like that.
Then all I'm trying to say is don't miss this fucking show because of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
He said, "Oh
yeah." But I mean, I think with an episode or 2, if it's not grabbing you, then you can save yourself the time because I think each episode's like 40 minutes to an hour, and if it's not vibing, if you're not caring about what's happening, then yeah, I think you'll know right away if you don't like. Same with Midnight Mass. Like after like 3 episodes of Midnight Mass, 1 or 2 episodes of Midnight Mass, if you don't give a shit, you're like, okay, then you could probably just skip those 2.
Gun to your squat rack. Would you rather watch
Midnight Mass?
Okay.
I don't have to like. Yeah, Midnight Mass is one of those things where it's like if you, I can't. 'Cause I don't want to spoil it, but because that kind of spoils a lot of what's happening. Say again.
Did Randall, you watch both of them too?
No, I've only seen the one.
Oh, okay. And you think it's game of the year?
Yeah, I have. What's your thoughts? Sorry, I hogged the
I
entire
think-
thing. He saw most of it too.
I think the way that it's presented is very well done. Like that eeriness, the creepiness, the chill that goes up your spine, all of that stuff is executed very well. And the lore is intriguing enough for you to like want to know more. I don't think I've
Bars.
I don't think I've ever felt bored watching any of the episodes. I always wanted to like know like why this happened or who is that and what's going on. Why does this keep happening? Why did all the questions you keep asking yourself, you eventually get those answers, and then sometimes they introduce more questions which eventually get answered. Like they did a good job at tying a bow at the end because like you know why everything happened. You know.
I need you to repeat the sentence one time because you had a slippery slope in the beginning.
What?
He said they had a good jab.
Yeah, like you.
Did a good job?
Good job. Okay. At the beginning, yeah, but you said a good jab and then said some words that I could not comprehend. So I don't know if it's just the way I heard it because I have my headphones on,
Mhm.
but
I think of the Irish lady.
yeah, I thought you were doing an
I said they
accent.
tied.
They tied it.
They tied a bow.
Tied a bow.
They did a
Okay.
good job of tying the bow
Okay,
at the end.
I got it now.
I've been watching too many stuff lately with actions, man.
Yeah, because they're pulling.
Because I was
pushing up
watching
Ted Lasso.
and then this, and I feel like there's something else I was watching.
Watch
That-
Peaky Blinders.
I'm not watching Peaky Blinders.
Fuck you.
I think he saw some episodes with
Yeah.
me, like random episodes.
Oh, fuck you.
I mean, what I saw was really good. Enough for me to say that I like his brother. But I'm not huge into the whole mob stuff, especially if it's like if the setting is back in the day. It's just,
The thing also is like that show. If your ears are not at 110%, you're gonna miss most of the dialogue.
yeah.
Like sometimes their accents get so deep, you're like, what the fuck? There's Irishmen in the Peaky Blinders where it's like you need to be locked in to his lips and what he's coming out of the speakers.
There's times with headphones, like sitting down watching. I went, hold on, and I put subtitles on.
Because all I hear is Tome, and then the rest is like, what the hell happened?
Part in the season, I want you to hear what they say, pause it, guess what they said, go back, turn on subtitles, and see how far off you were.
It's wild, but worth every time. Yeah, I again from a Flanagan fanboy again. We're not doing that.
Boy.
A flanboy, I guess. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm actually excited to go watch the first season now. So,
Well, you said they're linked by the same world.
no, they're not. It doesn't seem like, from what I've been told, Tanana saw both season 1, which is The Haunting of Hill House, and she saw this with us, Bly Manor, and it's just the same actors. Like the actors are in it, but they play different characters.
So
the first one, I think we started it, and then she watched it, and she said it was meh, right?
Oh,
I don't know anymore.
you said right? Like we started it? Like
I think you guys were watching it downstairs and I was there. I think we saw like an episode.
okay.
And then I think she watched the rest of it and she's like, Swabs. And
That's
then
what
I was
Evs.
like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think I had a coworker I told about Midnight Mass, and he said that he saw Squid Game, and then he saw 2 episodes of Midnight Mass, and he's like, nah, this is boring, and then saw all of Squid Game because he loved it. So like, I don't know. Like we might have just different tastes. So that I love Midnight Mass from like beginning to end. So
I want to watch Squid Game, but I'm just afraid what I might see.
I'm waiting for it to die down at like what is it, Journey and Undertale. For me, the hype is too. I'm just gonna be trying to bring it down if I watch it now because everyone's like, oh, watch it. I'm like, I'll wait until like all the hype dies down and I'll give it a shot.
Absolutely nothing, but it's the thing I was told about it that might hype it up for you, Anthony, is people say that the cinematography is on par with Parasite. This is also a Korean media.
Oh, it is a Korean media. Parasite's was really good and shot really well.
I think it's still good.
What's still good?
Why do you?
Yeah, well, I don't know what he's doing.
First of all, that look was extremely unsettling. Like that, that jump was creepy.
Because you said it was good. Parasites. That's why I said.
And then why'd you say like you still like it?
Yeah, because he said it was good, and I said no, it's still good.
Oh,
Cool. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I have. I don't know if you finished your thoughts on it. Do you recommend it at all to anyone, like in any way, shape, or form?
if you want to watch something creepy, sure.
In the ear. So the audio version is what you recommend for Brian.
Nah, I mean, if you're gonna watch it, you gotta be all in.
You just call me a pussy?
Yeah, I think he did on national television with 87 million people watching.
That's it.
That's it. So he doesn't get a middle finger. That's how we do anything.
Have you ever seen Lady in the Water, Brian?
Lady in the Water.
Yeah.
It's not the Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm just picturing that one episode of Courage where she puts him inside of the sewn blanket, and she's like a siren, and then she like traps Eustace. So no, I haven't seen what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
I still want to see Brian's reaction to that scene. A couple of scenes in that movie.
I mean,
In Lady in the Water.
Mm-hmm.
it's Halloween month. So.
There's a part with a dog wolf thing that's just like staring at you. You could see the silhouette and maybe like a hint of his eyes, and then it's like white smoke in the background, and it's just standing there like, and like it's creepy because the person who notices it first, they're walking because they're walking to the building, and then they stop and they're like, they look, and then they just see it. They're standing there looking at them.
Like you look tasty,
but you can't see any detail on it because it's at nighttime. All you see is the silhouette.
Yeah.
And as they walk closer to the door, it starts walking closer to them. And then they start walking faster, and then it starts walking faster, and then they start sprinting, and then I was sprinting at them.
No. Nah. If I'm ever in that situation, I'm walking around strapped. There's no right.
No, you gotta do what I do to the Santa doll in your garage, Anthony.
You want to square up? So I want me to turn around and just you want to square up?
He's good. That's what you.
Yeah,
do.
no, that's how I end up getting bit right in the choleta, dude.
But his.
I mean, he's gonna dig pretty deep for mine. So that's about it. I mean, we'll postpone The Witcher and see if we can watch it soon, so we can have it by next week.
No, I hate The Witcher.
Okay, and then that's about it. Notable releases.
What about Doom?
Dune. Oh, well, yeah, I have Dune. Dune comes out this week. Well, we're getting to the releases, Randall. Dune comes out this week, and so does The French Dispatch, which me and Jenny have been wanting to watch because we watched a lot of Wes Anderson films together.
Dune has a lot of big names in it.
Yeah,
it looks incredible. We were
lot.
watching the previews in
in the theater. Yeah,
it looks awesome.
I'm in it.
Nick's been talking about he's excited for it because he loved the book, and I think they had an original Dune movie.
Yeah.
And he loved that one, and so he's really excited for the remake.
It's going to be on HBO Max a day early, apparently, so we could probably watch it Thursday or Wednesday or some shit. I don't know. That's what I heard this morning on an article. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. But that's coming out this week, and so is The French Dispatch, and it's just not enough time in the world, right? I need to learn Naruto's fucking clone jutsu, right?
Right? Send
Like-
somebody to work, you know, so you don't have to do this shit anymore.
And then one does everything. Like
That
one
sounds
for
like a
everything.
Bond movie. Not enough time in the world.
Yeah.
He has one coming out leaked called "Oh No, My In-Laws Are Here."
What?
So for notable release, we have for games we got the last Smash Bros. Character comes out this week. I think either tomorrow, right, or Friday. I think it's Friday.
Isn't it
It's
Sora?
today. It's supposed to be.
Oh, it's today. Wow. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's Sora.
Sora's out.
Yeah, it's out. Oh yeah, so Sora. If you guys haven't gone and seen the announcement trailer for it, watch it. It's fantastic. No, it's. Go ahead, Ron.
They use the superior song from Kingdom Hearts, "Simple and Clean," and it's a slower version.
It's an orchestral version. Everything was so. It's just the frame. They did an excellent job with it, showing him like come out in front of all the Smash characters that are like the 90 fucking characters that are in it, and he's flying around and he's like the last guy, and then it ends with him shaking hands with Mario. I'm like, I do have a heart, and it's just
You know who
great.
should be shaking hands with Mario?
Goku.
Waluigi.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything against that sentence.
that's true. I mean, I think they just added him as a trophy, and that's it. They never actually added him as a character.
I mean, it's beautiful the way they did it. I
Yeah.
was waiting for Master Chief.
Oh, you thought you were rooting for it, or you were waiting for it?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Because there's no Xbox. I mean, Minecraft is the Xbox representative.
But you have to keep in mind the platform. I mean, it's geared towards younger audience. Like, okay. But anyway, yeah, he's out today, so enjoy. Probably the final update we'll get, unless there's like a balance patch later on for Smash Bros.
There's a patch that came out with it.
Okay. And then this week, the last Dark Pictures anthology game is coming out. Where this time is the one where you like a group of soldiers go into an underground cave or whatever, and then weird shit starts to happen. So if you played like the Man of Medan or shit, what was the first one called?
Wasn't that the first one?
Oh, it was.
I don't know you.
House of Potato.
No, Man of Medan,
My dad.
Little Hope, Medan, and the second one was Little Hope. Remember, that's the one we played.
Yeah.
And then now the third one is
House
House
of Ashes.
House of Ashes. It's an anthology series made by the people who made
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, and they've been breaking up these small little stories, right? Where you take like, remember the one where everyone had their own character and stuff, and we'd make the choices that way. Well, they're doing it again.
Elevator.
The last one, you said elevator.
Just trying to finish your sentence.
Oh, here's the last one's coming out this week. For movies, we got Dune and The French Dispatch, as I mentioned before. There's some other movies coming out this week, but there's stuff that I wasn't waiting for. Dune is definitely going to be on theaters and HBO Max. I don't know where French Dispatch will be on. I don't know if it's a theater only thing or what the case is. So I have to go and double check, I think.
Bubbleback.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. And then for music, we have Lana's album finally after so many delays, Blue Bannisters, and Wale is releasing Falarin 2. So Godsmack, it's been a while since I've heard from him. I've just heard some singles like the All-Star Breakup and the other single. I think he's released some stuff after that, but
Yeah, I think a couple weeks ago he had released the single J. Cole, and I liked it.
okay. So I mean, we'll check that out this week. I still need to listen to Coldplay as well. And that's it for the releases. Randall, what the fuck you doing this week?
Okay. There's nothing different. This is usual. Video games, art.
You sure you don't want to start setting up the stream? Just in case?
Oh, please, man.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You got your overlays ready?
No.
You got Streamlabs connected?
He better get it all ready because he's gonna be playing. He's gonna be streaming soon.
You have an ass.
I just gotta
counter?
find time to like actually sit down and play and stream.
You got you got your donations ready? Like alerts? You have the sound effects, the art for all that?
You had an ass counter.
You have an ask counter?
All of that stuff works on YouTube.
You can set it up,
Especially the ass counter.
especially as counter. Yeah, it's exclusive actually. When I said that, I thought you were going on YouTube already.
Exclusive, actually.
Yeah. All right, Kelsey, what you doing this week?
Bless you.
Still playing a little bit of New World whenever I get a chance. Still having fun with that.
Did you hit 60?
Yeah, I hit 60
Okay.
last week, like early last week.
Yeah,
I
you
think it
mentioned
was.
you were really close, so that's why I'm.
There apparently is more in-game content than I thought. There's like a whole bunch of different dungeons that you can do, and then there's a whole bunch of like just like open world stuff that you can do. So really looking into that, trying to get some of the other guys in the company to 60, because there's 4 of us right now. We really need a 5th to do a lot of the things that we want to do, and so we're hoping we can start teaming up with people. Been spending a lot of the time just like grinding crafting materials and trying to get my crafts and things up. What else?
Okay.
This week going out of town to Charlotte for Oliver's 3rd or 4th birthday. Is it 4th birthday? 4th birthday.
Okay. We'll edit out the first part. You got it the first try. 4th birthday.
Right. Yeah. So going up to Nick's place to celebrate his 4th birthday.
Nice.
Other than that, not much. The following week, we're getting kicked out of the house because they were, replacing all of our floors.
Right.
So probably not going to be able to join the podcast
Mhm.
after that, or for a week or 2. But we'll see. What's up?
Are they giving you a microwave?
Oh, so so they showed. So here's a fun story. So I called them on last Wednesday, and was
Huh?
like, "Yo, is there any word
Yo.
on the parts?" And the lady was like, "So it looks like we've got everything delivered now, but it's a 2-person job, so we can't, we won't be able to get anybody out there for another week and a half." I was like, "Just fucking send somebody. I'll help them again like I did last time."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "So you don't mind helping them?" And I was like, "No, please just send somebody." He's like, "Okay, well, we'll send somebody out tomorrow." So the same dude who helped me last time, or came out last time, shows up again, and he's like, "Holy shit, I thought we fixed your thing already." I was like, "No, we've just been waiting on a part." He's like, "Yeah, everybody's waiting on parts right now."
Mm-hmm.
So we get it out, and he walks in. He's got like 3 different parts that he's supposed to be replacing. In the oven, just to like see if we can get it to work like it's supposed to. Everything, like the microwave and the oven. So we pull it out and we start with the one thing, the first thing, the main piece, which is the inverter board for the microwave. So we get everything, we get it pulled out, we get it down to the inverter board, and he starts opening the boxes. He's like, "Well, that's not it, and that's not it, and clearly the last box that he has is not it. So he doesn't have the part that we need to replace." And he's like, "WTF, friend?" So he looks in his system and he looks on the paperwork, and it's initialed that that they received it. So he calls back and is like, "Yo, where the fuck is the part?"
Yeah.
She's like, "It should have only been those 3. No, there's a reorder, so it should have been 4. She's like, "Oh, I must have missed it, whatever." So he's like, I was like, "Let's just leave it on the floor here, and that way we're not having to like put it back and then pull it back out just to do this." So he goes back to the office that night, or the next morning, and finds the box. Apparently it was kind of like pushed back in the shelves, and so that's why she missed it. He calls me at 10 or so in the morning, and he was like, "Hey man, it's so and so at the repair service." I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Okay, so I have your part. I'm looking at the box right now, like I'm holding it in my hand. We have the part, but is there any way I can come out tomorrow, so Saturday, to replace this?"
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Is okay?" He's like, "My dad died this morning." And I was like,
What the
"Why are you
heck?
calling me?" Holy shit. He sounded like super composed about it too. He wasn't like upset or crying. He's like, "I thought we had a few more days." He like had apparently just gotten into the hospital, but he's been going like way downhill with dementia and things. And so they've been kind of prepared for it for a while. And I was like, okay, I understand that because even though it was like kind of a shock for Shannon when her grandmother passed away, we had kind of been expecting that as well because of the dementia. But I was like totally taken aback by it. Like, thank you for the call, but
Yeah,
yes, you can come out tomorrow. Like, yeah, dude. Like,
I want to know who's the soul living on this planet who'd be like, man, that sucks, but can you just still make it today?
yes, and I
Who
was like,
does-
I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know who would ever tell you, like, no, you need to come out today, but that person's an asshole. Like, yes, if you are okay with coming tomorrow, just come tomorrow, right? So he calls me on Saturday, and he's like, hey, yo, do you mind if I come over? Can I just like come over and install the part real quick? And I was like, yeah, sure. So he comes over and he hands me the box, and I'm like looking at it, and I was like, sweet. And so we take the, we had put most of it back together just to like keep things together, and then but left it on the floor. So we take the couple pieces off and whatever, and then he opens the box, and then he just kind of stares at the box,
No.
and I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, you've got to be joking. So he pulls out the thing, and a whole corner of the board is completely snapped. So, and it's not even like, oh, it was a damaged box, and you know whatever.
Mhm.
No, they just shipped a broken board. like it was a perfectly intact square box. No, like there was nothing wrong with the box. They just shipped a damaged board. A part that we've been waiting 6 months for finally shows up and it's broken. And it's not even like, oh, like we don't really have to worry about it because it's broken on like part of the board that's not used, that they didn't use that area. No, this
Yeah.
is like where the ground is and then a connection. And so there's no way to repair this. So
Yo,
yeah.
that is the most cursed fucking microwave I have ever heard of.
That's
So
somehow my fault.
Yeah.
so he replaced on Thursday he replaced the heating element for the oven, the main board for the oven, and another board for the microwave, right? So we were like, we're just going to make it basically a brand new oven and microwave, excluding the inverter board, which we will make it a brand new microwave once we get the inverter board.
Yeah, like what?
So like the problem with the oven is that it never heated up to proper temperature. And so I was like, it doesn't heat up to where it needs to be because it's supposed to heat up at least to the temperature of the temperature that you set it at and go over a little bit usually. That way when you like open the door or when it turns off, it's still hot enough that it keeps everything going, and then when it hits a certain point it heats back up. It's not like a gas one where it just stays on and like once you get to that temperature it just stays at that temperature because that's how gas works.
Right.
So we replaced everything, and I still have the calibration up 30 degrees. So I'm telling it to go 30 degrees higher than what it says on the thing,
And it's still
or
nothing.
what the temperature's reading, so that it actually makes it. And my little thermometer in there was only reading 300, but he got one of those Insta-Read ones, and he read the thermometer, and he's like, okay, the thermometer metal is at 350 degrees. So that means that it's actually at the temperature that it needs to be at. Because if you measure inside there, it's hotter, but you have to put something and then it works. And so I ended up leaving it running for like 45 minutes to an hour just to like let it do everything that it was going to do. And then I went back and I checked, and my temperature gauge finally got up to 350. And I was like, okay, at least it's actually hitting 350.
Right.
Because before it was like, before I did that, it was like 312 instead of 350. And then even bumping it up 30 degrees, it hit like 333. And then he replaced the temp sensor and it got up to like 345, and so it was closer but still not quite there.
Yeah, like it's right at the finish line and you just pass out.
Yes. So we still don't have a microwave, and we bought a microwave oven to like be able to reheat things without having to turn the oven on. because the oven takes like 10 to 15 minutes or more to heat up, whereas the microwave oven only takes like less than 2. And so I've just been figuring out how to reheat a lot of my meals in there, but it sucks because there's a lot of the like microwave meals that I want to cook that are just quick, on days like tonight where I just don't have a ton of time.
And just want something quick, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't do that because I don't have a fucking microwave.
That is
They
wild.
couldn't just give you a new one.
I'm like, this is beyond wasting time. Like 6 months, and you who's the person getting the equipment and going, this checks out? If all it took for him to do is open the box and be like, this is wrong.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, I don't remember him pulling out a ton of like packing
Material
from the box
like
itself.
stuff to keep it from like moving around. So what was that?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it is literally him on TikTok, woman in the screen and he just has it blasted. It might as well have been porn.
Wow, really?
So he's watching porn in front of you again.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Again, this time it's not on a big screen.
Yeah. So, and I talked to him about it, and he's like, I mean, you can call Whirlpool and complain to them. Like, you have an open case, and you can be like, look, we've replaced everything, and stuff still isn't working, and it's been forever. Like, I need a new unit. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna, depending on how long it takes them to get the new part for this, like, we're probably gonna start pushing for that because it's the unit's barely over 2 years old, and we've gotten to use it completely for like 13 months.
That's bad. That's beyond. That is like the definition of unacceptable.
Oh, and our disposal went out. So, yeah, this is
your appliances.
Yeah,
this is a $500,000 home, and nothing has worked or done right or whatever since we've moved in. And so the other month, it started making some weird stuff. They bought like the cheapest piece of shit thing that you can get at like Lowe's or Home Depot. I mean, it was like a 1/4 horsepower, just trash. Okay. And that seems to be like a lot of what the electronics is that they put in, even though we paid for upgrades and things. So it started making this weird noise. Like it was like you would turn on, but it sounded like there was like metal inside of the thing that was being ground up. And so, I was like, well, this is weird, but I can't get my hand down in there and I can't see in there because the little piece, the like rubber stuff that sits in the sink, is attached to the disposal. It's not like an insert that you can take in and out. And so I couldn't get my hand in there, and so I was like, I'll just deal with it this weekend. I told Shannon about it, and she's like, okay. Well, then the sink started backing up because food gets down in there as you're washing stuff, and she turns it on, and all you hear is zzz, and there's just nothing.
Nothing moves. There's no moving parts. Nothing starts.
No, nothing. And she's like, I think the disposal's broken. I was like, great. So sorry, sweetie. I looked at it for a little bit and was just like, we're just gonna have to get a new one because this thing's a piece of shit. It's super loud. Like when it would turn on, all you hear is like, as it's like going. And now, so we went to Lowe's. That's gonna be a fun one for your audio listeners.
I don't know why your mic did that. It's like it like dubbed it. It's like you didn't make that noise like you hit a button.
So we went to Lowe's and we got a new $300 disposal that's 1 horsepower instead of a 1/4, and it has like auto reverse every time you turn it on. It changes the direction of the blade spin. It's got 2 blades in it so that it's grinding up more rather than just one. And I was able to install it, but now it turns on and all you hear is zzz, but it actually is working. Like it's super quiet. Like you don't even know the sound of the water rushing in the sink is louder than the disposal.
I'm so fucking laughing at you.
Yep. No more.
Oh my god! All right, that's
Yeah.
all right. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I
Brian.
kept listening to your story, and then all I kept replaying it in my head. Holy shit! Like I think the compressor or something in Discord. Or so, it sounds like you're not making the noise, and you hit a button, and that noise is just like not you.
Just
You hear it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right.
Real quick. So this just popped up on my news feed. Apple is selling a polishing cloth for your
No.
iPhone or computer or whatever.
$7,000.
Do you?
You say $7,000? No, did
I mean,
you
they
say that? Or
released
did Brian say that?
Brian said that.
Okay. I would say, Randall,
I mean-
throw that away right now.
Have you ever seen the Apple wheels?
The what?
The Apple wheels.
Wheels?
Yeah, you know, like wheels that sometimes go underneath a shelf that you can attach. It's kind of like an IKEA thing.
Okay.
Have you ever seen them?
That's a thing?
Yes.
Apple sells wheels.
Yes.
Oh my god. They do.
Tell them how much it is, Kelsey.
Hold on. How much do you think the polishing cloth is?
I mean,
$7,000.
yeah, I'm going with Brian. $7,000. Like, right? Or is it like $100?
It's $25
For a
Yeah.
cloth? For
yeah,
cloth?
it's literally just here.
Is
I'm
it
gonna send this to you.
microfiber?
I don't. Made
Randall,
with
you can...
soft, non-abrasive material, the polishing cloth cleans any Apple display nanotexture glass safely and effectively. So I'm gonna send. I'll send this in the podcast channel. It's only $25. It's literally just a white cloth. Okay, something that you can like pick up at Walmart for $3.
A pack of
safe?
12 microfiber cleaning cloths on Amazon is $12.
Yeah.
Does it sync with Apple Music?
Oh, also, there's a 3 to 4 week waiting period for shipping
Wow.
because they're on back order, I guess. Like, I'm not really sure.
Bro,
Okay, are you ready for the wheels? Let's take guesses.
okay. So is does it come in a pack? I gotta start getting some
It's a
logistics
pack
here.
of 4 wheels.
$7,000.
$75. I don't like. What's it called? Eye dust. That's what Cobra said.
Do you have another guess?
Another
Brian,
guess?
Or are you sticking with $7,000?
I'm sticking with that. I'm feeling it this time.
Okay, let me go 100, maybe 25 each. Because Randall just laughed at my 75. 100.
Wait till you hear the price.
He's laughing. Is it more? How many? Is it 1,000?
700.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
he sent it to me. He said, right?
I sent you the cloth, and now I'm sending you the wheels.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
For a second, I thought he was gonna say $7,000.
He's not fucking joking. Is this a real site URL?
Yeah, it's real,
apple.com?
man. Those wheels came out a long time ago.
Yeah, but
To put it on your MacBook Pro, is that the desktop ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but if you order it today, free shipping for Thursday.
Matter of fact, Anthony, I showed you the video of one of the dudes that I follow. He did a video on it.
Did he?
You remember I showed you this guy? He put on gloves, and then he has like the dark background with the white table, and he was just like moving it around because his brain was trying to figure out why are these wheels $700.
That sounds familiar. I think I do remember that video. And all of it was just like an unboxing.
It was
video?
just all like audio. Like he didn't say a word because it was like he was trying to figure out like what's so special about these wheels.
Yeah, they're just wheels. There's nothing.
You can sync them with Siri.
So if you really like, you can get a set of Like, don't get me wrong, they look nice. They're made like completely out of metal instead of like cheap. Like the housing is made out of metal and things instead of cheap plastic. But you can get like rollerblade wheels for your like office chair things for super cheap. Hang on, let me find for $36, and they are like fantastic from what I understand. Like you can roll around like crazy.
$700.
Why does that surprise you? Don't you remember the stand
Yeah,
that goes on the monitor?
Yeah, I heard that's like $1,000, right?
It's a $6,000 monitor, and it doesn't even come with a stand. So the boys in the lab whipped up something, and for an extra $1,000, you can get a stand.
$7,000.
That is insane. Brian, what are you doing this week?
Spending his $7,000.
Yeah, I think I'm buying some new wheels for my computer.
Holy crap.
I won't stream Friday, but either Tuesday or Thursday or both, I'll stream Metroid because I was disrespected 3 times in a row by my computer in OBS. That's
See.
why I didn't stream on Friday.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Let me know as early as possible tomorrow. So if it does explode, I'll just help you set it up. But then again, try just disconnecting the YouTube account and reconnecting it.
That seems to be a common issue. OBS problem. You had the same issue when playing.
Mine had something to do with my camera. I was using the software that it comes with to be the camera device, and I just swapped it to be the camera device to be in there. I think it has something to do with that software that's making it weird. But me just trying to record Days Gone was just a nightmare for some reason.
And you glad those days are gone?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
goal.
Then Wednesday is.
Yeah, of course, Wednesday is the way we're not playing.
Yeah.
But then on Thursday, potential stream.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Okay, so then I don't know. He started laughing and he just looked at me in my face and then punched me.
No, I'm just thinking. I don't know why, but I just thought about Brian being rich, like having like a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
I just feel like he would be one of those people that buys like ridiculous stuff, like a block of cheese that costs $20,000,
and then slowly eat the cheese in front of someone who like why do you need to buy that? And you just like,
hold on, Reddit just reminded me of a video a friend of mine sent me. Hold on. It's among the same energy. I put it in podcast call. Put it twice by accident. Fuck, I'm freaking out.
I mean, I'll check that out in a bit, but all right, that's all you're doing, bro?
I think so.
All righty. What's scheduled for myself?
Anthony.
What's up?
What are you doing?
What I'm doing this week?
I'd really like to hear what Anthony's doing this week.
Oh, you want to know what I'm doing this week? Hopefully before
Interesting.
7:30 tomorrow, I'm gonna figure out what's on my backlog to play because I finished Days Gone, so it's on to the next thing.
Anthony,
What's up?
you want easy 4 to 5 hours of content? Just watch the Strive story.
Oh, that's true. I could do that. I need to
You
install that.
also
So,
watch the original Witcher movie.
The original Witcher movie?
Yeah.
There is an actual live action Witcher movie. Or like a TV show. There's actually like a live action TV show before the Henry Cavill one. There is.
This is broke, Brian.
There is one. If you look it up, there's one that's not the Netflix one. There's a live action Witcher one.
That's based on the game.
I think it's based off the books. And it's like
Oh.
in a different language too. Like I don't it's not something I'm gonna go tell you guys to go watch, right? Like I don't know what it is or what the hell.
If it's like the games, you should skip the first Witcher movie.
Yeah, that's true.
No, the second show, that's where it starts.
Yeah. Where am I at here?
Your house.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. That's an easy. I can just sort of like a watch along, like, oh, that's lit. I mean, will I be able to follow it? Like, to someone who doesn't know anything about Guilty Gear, am I gonna be like, who the fuck is that?
I mean, the gist of it. I think they're gonna throw around like anime filler words, but
Oh, like friendship, and then we're done with like the enemy or
no, I don't think they
Courage
friendship.
is the word.
courage, bravery. I think it was.
Bravery. Bravery is the word. I always forget which one it is.
God, man, that made me so mad, man. I don't know why. Like the show was fantastic. So it's that ending. I'm like, why did they end it like this?
Subaki.
And yeah, I might. So tomorrow's stream, don't know what, but I mean that sounds like an easy, an easy thing. Can you actually? Is there a way that I can like get out of it mid story and then just resume, or how does that work?
It gives you the option of playing the whole story back to back, or have it so that every chapter it asks if you want to keep watching.
I'm gonna do that then. That way, okay. I like that. Definitely do that.
What are you doing Wednesday?
We're playing something, but I'm probably Back for Blood. Continuing, see if Janiana's available for Wednesday as well.
Would you guys actually get it?
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, I recommend it if you loved Left 4 Dead. It's great co-op fun. So I mean, you and Adam and Nick or whatever, like it's really fun. There's just sections, and you can do melee builds if you just want to literally just swing at everything. Far Cry 6. I'm so far into Far Cry 6 that maybe not so far, but I mean like maybe I might just stream Far Cry 6 tomorrow because that's technically my backlog. You know, so it's either that or Metroid Dread. Those are the two things I'm playing right now. We'll figure it out for tomorrow. But Wednesday, definitely it's going to be some multiplayer game with us. Back for Blood, probably. That's another one we're also playing. And then Thursday, more Resident Evil Village. We've been trucking along. We took down Lady Dimitrescu, and now we're moving on to the next guy or thing.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah. That was one of my.
Where'd you fight her?
As a dragon monster.
Okay.
By the way, like it's on tape. Like you can go see it.
It's on tape.
Yeah, but you're right here.
Yeah.
So I can ask you.
Wow.
Should I give you a view or just ask you here and just?
I don't want to hear that crap because I always watch your videos. So.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
I'm usually a person who's liking and commenting.
Yeah,
what about subscribing?
I'm already subscribed.
You're supposed to keep doing it.
I'm supposed to unsubscribe and then subscribe every time I look at the video?
With each video, you make another account.
Okay.
Until we hit that 1,000 goal.
That's what I do.
Anywho. And then Thursday, we said Resident Evil. That's about it. And we'll be back next week to record this. Resident Evil Village.
I thought you said Friday you was doing it.
Oh, Thursday.
Okay.
Friday's the OnlyFans.
Yeah, like Thursday.
It's the what?
OnlyFans stream.
Okay.
Anywho. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week for more shenanigans. And yeah.